Well, hello and good morning. Welcome. My name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay, and we are here for episode 13, the finale of Urban Shadows. I didn't plan it to go 13 episodes, but honestly, in an urban fantasy campaign, like that's kind of the perfect thing.
That means it'll be lucky,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
That means this
always
episode's going to
lucky.
be lucky,
Just
right?
like Friday the 13th.
Wait a second.
Just like my boy toy Bill.
Yep.
Bob?
I mean, who's
Whatever.
the star of Friday the 13th?
Hey, Jason.
This
Okay,
guy.
good. It's gonna
So
work
what
out.
could
It's
go
gonna
wrong?
work out. Yeah,
I mean-
everything's good. We're good to go.
Sure.
You're
I
all
mean, you
gonna
could say
die.
that, you know, unnecessary nudity is the star of Friday the 13th.
Also true.
I want to
Kevin
get
Bacon.
technical.
Now, I can't remember if I brought this up before, but have any of you seen Friday the 13th X, Jason Goes to Space?
No.
I've heard of it, but I
No,
haven't watched it.
should.
I
You know what?
contend it is one of the funniest movies I have ever seen, and I'm not sure they meant it to be, but
You know what we should do is a double feature with Friday the 13th X in space and the Hellraiser in space.
okay, yeah, I don't know anything about Hellraiser. That'd be fun.
Oh, Hellraiser is
Oh.
awesome.
We should
Hellraiser
see
is
what's
so
on Twitch watch parties and see about something like that. I did watch the very first Friday the 13th because I'd never seen it. I watched it on a
yeah.
watch party, and unfortunately, you can't get VODs of watch parties. But I was very like, I'm such a wimp with horror films, even as like goofy as something from whatever it was 1985 or
Yeah,
something.
it's pretty goofy.
Never watch Candyman, Jason.
Okay.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that's the case, just
Nope, yep,
just
nope.
give it a
That's-
pass.
Yeah.
Hard
It's
pass.
primarily if it's about like ghosts or poltergeists or like that kind of stuff. I can't do. If it's like a hack and slash, it's okay. It's just like the jump gets me.
Yeah, nope, definitely not Candyman.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Definitely ghosts.
Yep. I've never seen Exorcist. I've never seen Poltergeist. I've never seen what is it? Paranormal.
Paranormal Activity?
Yeah.
Oh, that movie was
The other
so
one
good.
the other one I found super creepy, and I don't know if it was just because I was young and I watched it in the middle of the night, was Phantasm.
I
I don't
love
think I've
that.
seen
is
it.
so
It's
creepy.
terrifying.
So creepy, and I was like, and like for years I have thought about that movie and never watched it again because I'm like, I don't know
No,
if I
it's
can do
weird because
this.
I saw it once and was so fascinated by it, but was absolutely terrified at the same time. And I have that feeling of like, don't touch the oven, it's hot.
Uh-huh.
But also like, I kind of want to go back for it to see how hot is that oven.
It took me a long time to go back to watch Gremlins because I had watched it when I was like 9 or something, right? And it was like legitimately scary to 9-year-old me. But fortunately, I did eventually go watch it, laughed my ass off because it's really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then Gremlins 2 is even more ridiculous. So
And
Is
has
Gremlins
one of the
2
greatest.
with the one that comes out of the toilet?
I think so.
that's 2, yeah.
Because that's the one I can't ever watch again.
Fair.
And made me
Yep.
afraid of the toilet.
But
Yep.
like Gremlins has by far the best monologue ever
Oh
written
god, it's so great.
in cinematic history.
The first one?
Yes, 100%. When
What's the monologue about?
the girl talking about how like her dad at Christmas and how
Yeah, why she hates Christmas.
right.
Oh,
Phoebe Cates' story about her dad is so perfect. It goes on
totally
for like
forgot about
8
that. I'm going to have to
minutes.
look that up later.
It's amazing. And it's
Okay.
such a non sequitur. I remember the monologue, but could not place the movie. And then I went
Yeah,
back
it has
to
nothing.
Gremlins.
It's so bizarre. It's so
yeah.
it's so like out of place.
Yeah, it
All
was
right.
amazing.
Well,
Anyway,
let's get on with the show, so to speak. Pooja playing Esmita. What's up? What's going on?
So I don't know.
Who are you? How did you get in here?
who are you?
Sorry. I just had one of those moments where
Oh,
I was
I-
like, man, I worked all night.
Yep.
And not just to get lucky. But to get,
No, you already got him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Want to know how I know I'm gay? I first went to I Drive All Night from Celine Dion instead of I Get Up All Night to Get Lucky.
Wow.
So
There
sorry, I
you
didn't mean to
go.
interrupt you.
Wait,
It's also
you're
a
gay?
very good one.
Shocking, no?
What?
This is news to me.
Sorry.
Adam will see so pleased.
All right, Pooja.
Hi, I'm Pooja, and I'm playing Asmita using the Tainted playbook. And I have a dude whose presence now lives in the back of my mind.
Wouldn't that? Well, I missed some things.
Yeah, like the gifts the demon just keeps on giving.
Okay.
Yeah, she found that she's constantly aware of kind of the presence and motivation of Steven Stevenson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
He's
fun.
the child I never wanted.
Yep.
That's real fun. All right.
And Ryan,
Yeah.
what are you up to? Or
Um,
Joey. Sorry, I always flip back and forth between real names and character names. So here we are.
At this point, we are one now.
Sure.
Good luck, everybody else. No, Ryan's doing great. He's, got his army of pixies doing some reconnaissance and trying to figure out exactly what Claude is up to, and trying to make sure that he fucks around and may never find out.
Oh. Doesn't everybody want that? And then doesn't not everybody get it?
Well, that's everybody else. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Just
gonna
thought
do it. We're
everybody
gonna
wanted
make
a
it.
piece of that.
Yeah, sure.
No Laverne and Shirley for us. Is that?
We're gonna make it after all.
Yeah.
Well, that's Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, right, it is. That's close enough.
It's fine.
And Belle/Jay.
Hello. Jay here playing Belle, a demon with a very cool and not at all worrying glass arm. That has happened. And he was in Madagascar last week. And hopefully didn't miss too much. And also hopefully still has a shop. Since I apparently left these folks in charge. And so anything could have happened that I am unaware of.
Yep, I can't think of anything. Actually, the shop was not burned down.
Hey!
It was fairly sturdy. It stood up in the face of wizards going upstairs to Sarah's apartment.
Okay, good,
But
good.
but
That's not my shop.
they blew right past the shop. The shop had
Cool.
kind of an ignore field on it while you were away.
Yep. You're welcome,
Excellent.
Belle.
Yep. And so that went fairly smoothly.
good.
I do want to do a little bit of a flashback scene for Belle in Madagascar. And totally optional, Pooja and Joey, specifically not your character names. If either of you or both of you would like to be one of the demons that showed up to help Belle, just random Demon 1 and Demon 2, because they were sent, that's great for this scene. It's not going to be a long scene, but if that sounds like fun, you're welcome to. But you don't have to also.
Yeah, I'm all about the mook, but if I'm a mook in Madagascar, I am prepared to move it.
Uh-huh. Yes. Excellent. Okay, so before we do that, though, let's have Asmita's last time on Santa Sombra.
Well, last time on Santa Sombra, Asmita figured out that in addition to Steven Stevenson being now another contract signer with Frithra, and she is and kind of like under her control if she wants it to be, but not completely.
Control's
She
a
doesn't have to-
strong word.
Yeah, like strong suggestion.
It's like when you're bowling and you lean to make the ball go left. Like,
I can make the ball go left,
yeah.
which is more than I can say for my own personal self when I bowl. Like,
She's a very strong enabler.
Yep.
but also that Ritra left a gift in my brain that I know how Steven Stevenson is feeling at the moment and where he is.
And isn't that fun?
It's gross. I don't like it. But it comes in handy. Kind of. Maybe.
Yeah, the real question is, will it stick around when/if he dies?
Don't put ideas in her head. She would do this to me. Even though I was trying to be nice. That's what I get.
Yep.
But yes, so we went to meet with Ryan at his place to try to help him with this Claude situation, and then got in, I wouldn't say in trouble so much as crossed paths with a bunch of wizards.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Ryan?
Yeah, so Ryan woke up the next morning with some pixies knocking on his window, pulling a full Melissa Etheridge coming through my window. One of them was injured pretty badly, and I found out that the group of pixies had been attacked by hellhounds, and we're told that they were having a meeting with I think with the werewolves, and it was supposed to be a safe meeting. Claude assured them it would be a safe meeting, and they were attacked because Claude's a lying asshole. And I'm not just saying that as his ex. Okay, I'm mostly saying that as his ex, but also the proof is in the pudding.
I mean, column A, column B. What's
right?
Why not both?
Yeah.
So I get the information from them that Claude is up to no good, and Claude has been blowing up my phone, trying to get me to call him back to talk to him, and also blowing up Esmita's phone. So Esmita gets to the apartment, and I finally call Claude to figure out what he wants. And he basically wants me to get out of town. And I find out that it's because he's planning something big, and by getting me out of town, it'll make it that much easier for him to blame me for what he's doing.
Ooh,
again.
Rude.
So I basically told him to fuck off, because absolutely not. And then we all went to Sarah's apartment, and she went upstairs to get something. I don't remember exactly what she was getting, but she was getting something.
The soul of Mrs. Lane's wife.
Yep.
Right. That's correct.
Oh, jeez.
So that is a resource that's available to you all, but we also found out that whatever it was that happened up there, conveniently enough for our narrative, Sarah is now tethered to like within eyesight of her apartment.
Oh, God.
And so she can no longer leave that area. But if there is something you wanted to do with Miss Lane's soul, Mrs. Lane's wife's soul, whew, that was a trip.
Wow.
That's a whole thing you did there by yourself.
Yep. And we also, did we mention kind of schmoozing Abe, who was on lookout
Oh,
outside the shop?
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Because we were gonna blind lookout, but it turned out it was Bill's old pal Abe.
Yep.
And they
Oh.
were willing to get the wizards out in order to prevent massive bloodshed.
Right. Yeah, I think you convinced them that the wizards were in more danger. Something like that, right? Like, and you're like, you should really get your people out of there before they get yeeted to hell. Something like that.
I think so. I think I played more on the sympathies of Belle and being friends with Belle, and it was in my head. It was very much that scene in The Sound of Music with the Von Trapps and Rolf. Like, don't do it, Rolf. Don't alert the Nazis. And only this time it worked.
What a request.
Only this time, Abe turned out not to be a Nazi.
Hooray!
Yeah, I mean, Abe's never had any sort of Nazi tendencies, so that
Right.
Just in the
I hope
metaphor,
not.
in the metaphor sense.
Yes. Although the Wizards, on the other hand, have not had a great track record so far. We don't like to just throw around the word Nazi for funsies, but they're not great. So that's certainly been an issue. I think it's a problem when you're in more question than the various types of demons in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
isn't that always the way? Like, between the wizards and the Van Helsings, you're like, who are the real demons here?
yeah.
Like, yeah, the demons and the Fae, like, we will tell you straight up what's going on. Like,
Yep.
I mean, tell you.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, totally.
If you know the right questions to ask, things will be revealed to you.
But also, you
Or
knew we were
accurate
scorpions when you picked us up.
Also true. If you know the right question to ask, you will get answers. No one is saying that they will be full and complete.
All right. So, Belle,
Yes,
you arrived in Madagascar.
that's right.
You had some sense, I think, of where the secret base was.
I had some sense of that. Yes.
Right.
We
Okay.
had the Pancakes had given me basically enough info to locate this secret base.
Okay. And now Belle, as an imp, escaped from the sort of Judeo-Christian sense of hell, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Okay. Or the Abrahamic hell, which is a
Yes.
term I learned recently, which is a little bit more inclusive even than Judeo-Christian. So
It is, yes. Abrahamic.
yeah.
The Abrahamic religions. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good that we just have that as a reference. You get off the plane. You had to take a plane there, right? But you get to just
Yeah.
teleport back because it's to your shop.
Exactly. I got that thing. I can pop back home. So,
Okay.
one-way tickets for me.
So when you come off the plane, and I think it's probably even you had to make a connection, and there's like a little flight that would come into a small, like not the main airport in the what's the main city on Madagascar?
Is there a city in Madagascar?
Is it just Madagascar City? That's I'm embarrassed. I should know this.
Down to Madagascar City.
Let's double check because it's not hard.
Hold on. Well, it is hard to say. So good luck with this. Antananarivo?
Oh yeah, and Tenerife. Yes, actually, I'm familiar with that. Or Antananarivo. I think there's an extra na in there.
Tana. We'll just call it Tana.
Antananarivo. Yeah, okay, that's pretty close. Anyway, apologies for anyone who does know how to say that correctly.
I'm sorry, my Madagascaran friends.
But yeah, that's the capital city. There are what do we got in there? Like a couple million people? What are we
I
talking?
think it was like 1.3 or 1.6 or something.
Yeah, almost 1.3 million. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. That's about what I was picturing.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen pictures of. Okay. All right.
Jason,
But
just do the influencer thing with your camera real quick.
Mm-hmm.
who, me?
Yeah, you're a little,
Oh.
Your
you're a little
fuzz.
season 1 drag race.
A little better.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to get I was noticing it earlier too. Like my lighting is weird in here. I don't know what went wrong, but I have that soft effect on the today. Dreamweaver.
You're living your best Elizabeth Taylor fantasy. It's
Exactly.
fine.
It's like seasons old Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
love
you
interest
gotta
filter.
say like something about the. There's really something to be said about the 30s and 40s movies. Is that
Mhm.
that soft glow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Soft glow.
That Vaseline lens. Yeah.
So good for everyone.
Okay. So, Bill, you did let's see. You had to make a changeover somewhere along the way and came in on one of those, speaking of the like 1930s, 40s movies, like one of those old planes that's going to a more remote airfield, because you don't actually want to go into Antananarivo. You want to go to this like place north of the city, and just make sure you're not like on anyone's territory. Like there's a lot of different belief systems out here, and it's just there's a lot of people guarding their interests, as people everywhere do. So let's I think when you arrive there, you arrive there with some fairly unsavory characters getting off the plane on this airfield. This plane is available to people who don't want to be detected coming and going from the island, and everybody
You're flying.
Yeah, they all
Demon
kind
air.
of like peel off to go wherever it is they're going, various people. But you find yourself stepping off the plane, and there is a like a slightly stretched town car. It's not like a big old limo, right?
Ooh.
But there is a town car there with one demon behind the behind the wheel, and another demon like waiting by the passenger door with like this Oh, okay. So that's Pooja. How badly scrawled is this, or is it letter perfect? Like what? What does your sign look like that says Bell?
I think the sign looks like, if you look at it one way, it just looks like a little messy handwriting. But if you look at it another way, it's like infernal language. And it says
Okay.
Bell.
Okay. So the kind of thing that most like mortals wouldn't even be able to read it. Really, it just looks like scribble. Okay. So yeah, Belle, you see this infernal language kind of almost light up in the night, right? Like this like flame across the page, kind of like the One Ring, you know, the inside of the ring and all that.
Nice.
But it's not in pretty elvish.
It's not the dark language of Mordor, which I will not speak here.
We will not. But these two demons are ready for you, and I don't think you told any demon friends that you were coming here.
I did not, but I am, an important figure.
Yes.
A figure of renown and importance and respect. So I'm just gonna walk up to the one with the sign and hand them my overnight bag.
All right. So Pooja and Joey, your sides are this. It's just like a half a paragraph each. You were sent here by a local imp who is like basically does what Belle does, but in Antananarivo. And she sent you out here because Belle's not welcome to come into the city, but you're here to help him do whatever else he wants to do. But that's her territory, and she doesn't want him in her city.
Do I know this?
Well, I don't know how much of this they've explained, but that's
all right, good to know.
Yeah,
I just want to know for my.
Yeah. Let's see. What's her name? Her name is Jack.
Okay.
Spelled like Jaq.
I was gonna just go JACK.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So, Pooja, you're the one kind of meeting Belle as he's coming across the tarmac. What do you want to tell him?
Good sir, we have been sent to assist you in your mission here. Given the restrictions upon your movements,
Sorry.
please feel free to lean upon us.
The what now?
It sure is great to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well. I would definitely like to get to a hotel and freshen up as quickly as possible. So please direct me to your finest hotel. And also, I don't understand what these restrictions are. So
finest hotel in the rural area outside of the city.
I'm sure there's a Four Seasons somewhere.
Well, we really only have kind of like 2 seasons here, but I'm sure we can find you something.
Okay, so you with the sign, a Four Seasons something?
Well, unfortunately, the Four Seasons is within the restricted zone. But we do have a wonderful bed and breakfast. They do serve a full complimentary meal multiple times a day whenever you would like. So we will direct you to that. It's very comfortable, handmade bedding.
You're going to need the restrictions.
Well, you see, this area belongs to our master, and she's rather particular about who comes in and out and who stays. So we're here to just help you on your journey as quickly as possible.
While also making sure that you do not enter the city proper.
Exactly. Isn't that swell?
In this way, you get what you want. Our master gets what she wants. No one has to die a final death, lose various limbs. Usually that's one of us losing limbs, and really it's like a real pain to grow back.
I understand that.
Speaking of limbs, that arm is really neato. Can I see it?
You're seeing it right now.
Can I like?
Can we touch
see
it?
I want
we
to
touch
see
it?
it. Can I see it?
I think you two have probably even heard of Belle, right? Like this is a a minor league celebrity as far as
Can we touch it, please?
You no, no.
How about just a picture?
Sure, fine. No gang signs.
Okay, so Joe, you get out of the car and you would take a selfie, right? Okay. So I'm just gonna move us forward a little bit. We get to the bed and breakfast. It's definitely Pooja, what were you picturing?
It's like a very nice upscale, like privacy is the most important thing at this B&B.
Alright.
Set, it's like bungalows.
Sure.
Nice. Rainforest shower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That's the important thing.
Okay. Cool. So we've got you've got some time to kind of do your thing there. This is definitely the like nicer place that people who would take this kind of plane to this kind of airfields, and these are mercenaries, smugglers, that type of people, maybe but like relaxed assassin type of situation, but it is, it's a little bit higher price, and so it's a fairly wealthy clientele, and there's a wide mix of people there, but there is somebody there at like midnight to check you in. You can see, as far as you could tell, they seem mortal. And they get you checked in, they get you food, etc. If there's anything that needs to happen here, let's do that, or just carry on. But you do, in fact, get a chance to freshen up a little bit, and then probably want to head out under cover of night to this secret base, right?
Yeah. I think that seems reasonable.
Okay. So when you're getting closer, so both Pooja and Joy, your demon selves have been briefed a little bit on the situation, and that like you knew Belle was coming out here to see this secret installation. You also know that it's sort of guarded by unmarked U.S. military personnel. Like they don't have flags on their uniforms, and their uniforms are this like generic a brown instead of the kind of typical U.S. Army fatigues. So that's all very subtle, and nobody knows. But as you pull up, you can see there is a chain link fence around the area. And what it's around is what looks like an old mechanic / gas station, right? Just like in the middle of nowhere along a road, right? But it just looks like a dilapidated mechanic shop gas station that is not in use. And maybe the chain link fence is just to keep people from hurting themselves in there.
Okay.
That's definitely the vibe. But Jay, does Belle have any like see invisible stuff?
I mean, I'm gonna let it out to sniff out a secret stash.
Oh yeah, that's great. Let's do that.
So the old spirit.
That looks like it was a good roll.
Snake eyes on the dice.
Oh, so unless you have a +5 to your spirit.
Surprisingly, I do not.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And Jay is back, ladies.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Good to have you, Jay.
Those dice are dead to me. So yeah, that's a 3.
Okay. So what I'd like to have you do, well, now see, some GMs open the rules before the game starts, and I just that's amateur hour as far as I'm concerned.
The rules are holding you back, man.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have you ask a question from the perception move. What's that called?
Figure someone out.
A debt
Figure
move?
someone
A
out?
circle move? Is it a city move? No.
I mean, there's study a place of power.
It's
Or is it figure someone out?
oh, well, I like the questions for figure someone out. So let's just go ahead and ask something from figure someone out, understanding that I will bend it to be like about this place. So like, what's your character's beef with is probably not going to get you like this place isn't a person, but
How could I get into this place?
yeah, okay. So, the thing that strikes you is that you can see a couple of there's like people in like black fatigues, right? That are like fatigues and balaclava and like the whole thing that just like blend into the night. And you're like, haha, I see you jerks. And you can see them just kind of cycling around, and if you were to time it just right, you should be able to just like lift up the chain link fence or hop over. There's no like razor wire on the top. It's only what, 6 feet tall or something. It's not very tall.
This is obviously easy for me to do.
Yeah, you could easily just climb the fence and hop in.
All right. I will try that.
Okay. So the hard move of the situation is that the fence is electrified. So I'm gonna actually have you roll though.
Well, before I even roll, I am gonna be a fucking demon
Okay.
and ignore all harm the first time I suffer
Okay,
harm.
good. I was about to tell you to take 2 harms, so that we'll ignore that part. But I do feel like you could have like a muscles seizing situation depending on how you roll.
Okay.
So let's roll keep your cool plus spirit again.
Keep my cool plus spirit with other dice. Let's try these new ones. Maybe these new ones
Definitely won't pee yourself.
All right. Okay, these new ones are also dead to me. That is also doubles. And ironically, that is 2 2s.
Oh, okay.
So if this continues, eventually I will roll boxcars.
Okay, what's your total with that though? With 4 plus
4 plus the spirit is let it out of spirit is 5.
Oh, total of 5. Okay, well, yeah, that's not close enough for a help.
That's not going to do it.
Okay, so you kind of get a quiet run, like what would you like a little bit of a running start to try to hop over real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you grab it and you can feel the nature of your demonness protecting you from injury, but you grab the top and seize and just like boom, just land on your back on the other side of the fence though.
Oh hey.
So, but you're still like like shaking a little bit and you're sort of getting control of your like okay.
Everything's fine.
So Pooja and Joey, what do you want to do? I mean, there is the sort of unprod. The Jack sent you with this like cattle prod type thing that actually like absorbs electricity. And you're realizing like, oh, that's probably what she sent us with that for. Like maybe we should probably use this on. So however you want to handle that is up to you. It's in the glove box.
Oh. We get the thing. Let's get the thing.
That's a good idea. Why didn't you just say that in the first place?
I think she kind of thought it would be funny.
Well, I mean, she's not wrong. It was really funny.
You do so much. Oh, I don't like you at all.
All right. So the two of you go up and you like tap the fence, and within an area, right? The fence just you can hear this hum that you didn't realize you could hear. It shuts off. Bell, you're like, oh god.
Why did you not tell me you had that?
You didn't
I
ask.
didn't ask.
Nice. Oh, it was almost in stereo. That's so good. Okay.
Imagine that we're in the same room and could have actually synced that up.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So the two of you just hop over the fence. It's not very difficult. And to kind of sneak across with those soldiers out there shouldn't be too hard. Belle, do you want to I think actually I'm going to call it escape a situation.
Uh-huh.
But if you have something that would let it out instead, I'm open to that.
I am again gonna try to let it out because I also have infiltrate a hostile area.
Oh,
by
geez, I
appearing
forgot about that.
Unworthy
This-
of concern.
You're actually like custom built for this.
Oh, so close. It was so close to being 2 3s, which would not have been very useful, but would have been awesome. But instead, it is a 9 plus a 1 for a 10.
That's your blood is 1.
Oh wait, what is my blood? No, my blood's 0, so it's a 9.
It's
No,
a
but
9.
you're doing
Okay.
let it out, right?
I'm doing let it out with spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to escape a situation in my head. Okay, so yeah, that's a 10 then, and yeah, you move very quickly. You do have to take out one of the guards on your way through. You get them by surprise. How do you take them down?
I use the old glass arm to bop him on the head.
Oh, okay.
Also,
just clunk.
with a 10, hold on, with a 10 with let it out. Let me double check because I
Oh,
want to make
yeah,
sure
you do
I'm
have to
taking my
take
things.
corruption or complication,
I'm
and from
taking
the
the
previous
corruption.
one as well.
Oh, right, that's true. I'm taking corruption for both of those. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to do the thing with the thing and the thing. And okay. Cool. So I did that. So I bopped the guy on the head.
Great. Okay. So you then head into the mechanic's office, or the part where there's a lift, right?
Uh-huh.
And pretty quickly you realize, like, oh, actually this hydraulic lift is really well oiled and maintained. And when you have it go up a little bit, you can see it comes up, and then a part of the floor comes up, revealing some stairs.
Perfect.
Very subtle. No one ever would have thought of that.
Nope.
So, yeah. And by the way, Pooja and Joy, you just saw the infamous Bell just take out a soldier with like no fuss, no muss, like just clunk.
Just a big old boop.
It's pretty exciting.
It's like phone out picture.
Yeah.
I want one. I want a glass arm. That's amazing.
No, right.
It's so good.
Okay, so y'all head down in there. As soon as you come out the stairs, there is a like very bored, tired-looking guard at a desk who's like just swipe in at the door. He doesn't even look up from his, like, I don't know, comic books probably. He's like, just swipe in.
I am gonna. What do I have here? What can I do here? I am going to figure someone out
Okay.
or measure. So I'm going to use measure my mark,
Okay. Yep.
which allows me, if I figure him out, I can add a couple questions to the list.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Let's roll plus mind.
Let's see how this goes. What's my mind? 1. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. That is a 7 on the dice, plus 1 for an 8.
Is an 8. Figure someone out would normally get you one, or you get to ask 2 questions, but I get to ask one of you, as in this guy is perceiving something about you. But what 2 questions do you want to ask?
So I'm going to use measure my mark, and I am going to add what pressing need does he have that I can address?
This guy needs to go to sleep. Like, he's very tired, and he is like probably not. It looks like this is his first night shift. Like when you get into working nights, you get used to it after a while. And this guy just looks. Pooja, do you know anything about that?
Nothing at all. Definitely know nothing about a constantly shifting schedule. That means it doesn't matter if it's day or night, you are going to be tired.
Yep.
And definitely not at your sharpest.
For a hot minute, I worked an 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift when I worked for Kinko's, and that was rough. Okay, so Yeah, he's desperately tired and is managing to stay awake. He's got his coffee there, but he's just like barely awake.
Awesome. Well, then I am going to persuade him that I'm going to persuade him that I am here, that he needs to go take a break, and that I am an inspector of some kind.
Okay, this may be a little bit challenging just because you don't have any sort of uniform. Well, I guess you are usually like in a suit or something, right?
Yeah, I'm in a suit. I look professional.
You're a little dusty from landing on the ground.
A little bit, but brushing it off. Roll with heart. That's not going to be good enough. That's sad making. But that's a 6.
Okay. So what is the argument you're making to him exactly?
The argument is I'm here to inspect the place and to look over. He doesn't need, now that I'm here, he can go take a break.
Okay.
And he doesn't need to stay at his post. He can take the break that he wants to take while I do my inspection.
So accompanying demons, you can see this guy is now like looking up at Belle properly and like, blinking and refocusing. Like, wait, who are you? And it's getting pretty close to like I'm gonna hit the red button on my desk. But if you wanted to roll an assist, basically it's the fact that, when your cattle prod absorbs electricity, it can also then regurgitate it. So I forget who does Joey have it?
I think Pooja has the cattle prod.
It's a two-way vacuum.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. Then you got to fill it up again, and then you can barf out more electricity. So, do you want to roll assist?
Yeah.
Okay, and if it doesn't go well, you'll be in trouble too. But you are here to help Belle, so.
Yeah. Also, I think we're going to be in trouble one way or another. Joey, do you want to roll one die and I'll roll another die?
I love that. Okay.
That's
great.
fun, yeah.
Ooh, okay. Well, I got a 6.
Oh, good. Because I got a 3.
Okay, great. That's a 9. And you would roll with their circle. So Belle, what's your wild circle?
My wild...
It's got to be at least a 1, right?
It's a 1, yeah. It is a 1.
Okay, so we're going to call that a 10. You give them, you give Belle a +1 to their roll, and you don't expose yourself to danger, entitlement, or cost. Okay. But
our powers combined.
I think I'm just going to interpret that as the 7 and 9, like knocking this guy out is actually sort of inconvenient because now there's just a body by the desk. So that is enough of a complication. And you're like, hey, listen to me. Look, you can go take a break, whatever. Then these two are like, oh, it's not going to work. Zap. Which, Belle, is probably not exactly what you wanted them to do in this situation, but
no.
The guy collapses behind his desk.
That's fine. I mean, listen, my next option was going to be to let it out and inflict some serious harm on this dude. So
okay,
this is fine.
I'd like to position his body so it looks like he like fell asleep on his arms at the desk, like make him look all nappy.
Okay, sure. That's actually good.
I'm helping. I say that to Belle. We're here to help.
I tear up his comic books and make it like a little pillow underneath his head.
Oh god, he's gonna be
Why
so
would you tear up the comic books?
He was rude. Also, he needs like cushioning.
Okay, all right.
So when you all walk past this desk, you could see you're just in a concrete bunker, right? It's pretty broad. It's like maybe like 30 or 40 yards across, right? Not quite a football field width, but like, getting there. And then you're coming out in the middle of like a square, right? There's a big open square space with like barred jail doors down the side. And then you're also, there's a railing around here and you can look down and there's a whole other floor of jail doors, barred jail doors.
Oh, wow.
And there's probably, well, let's see. We can just tell you. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 12 on this floor, and there's 12 below.
Okay.
And you can see a couple people at these close doors come up, are looking through the doors at you, and are like they're not making any noise because they know like either this is bad for me and making noise is pointless, or this is good for me and I'm gonna just wait and see what happens. So yeah, you've got a couple of the prisoners making eyes at you. You can see there's a stairwell down on this side and a stairwell down opposite, and then there's on this level there's a couple stairways up. Like when you come out of this hallway, if you were to make a U-turn left, there's a stairwell up.
Got it.
And what you can see up above you is like office windows.
Okay.
Right? So that's probably where the administrators are watching over things. And that level must be right under the gas station for how far the elevator came down, or the stairwell.
All right. Now, I'll be honest, I've kind of forgotten why I'm here.
Oh, so this is the secret base that Steven Stevenson and Emily Richardson gave up.
Right.
Or no. I think actually Pancakes.
Yeah, no,
Talked about it.
like they like I know I'm here for Pancakes. I can't remember if my job here is to destroy the place or to get information.
I think it was a little bit of dealer's choice. Like whatever it is you want to do here is fine, but you know, there was a lot of back and forth about how you should have left it at Madagascar. You should have just.
Yep. All right, so I'm going up to the offices because I want to find the person in charge and tell them to leave Pancakes alone. Otherwise,
Okay, we're just gonna go up to the office.
Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Okay. All right, you go up there. There's not a lot of people around because it's the middle of the night. But you do see somebody's office has like a little table light on, and they're sitting at their desk working on something. And you head over to them.
Yep, I want to look for the office that looks like it's the person in charge.
This looks like it's the desk out in front of the person in charge, who's probably not here this late. But
all right.
Yeah. Depends
all
on
right.
how
Well,
you
I
want to
will
do it.
go to that desk.
Okay. And this person looks up and they're totally flustered, but let's see. No alarm has gone up and you made it past the guards, which means there's a good chance you're supposed to be here. Okay. So they look up, they're like, yes, the general's out.
What do I want to do here? I am going to try again to persuade with my oh so powerful powers of persuasion here. Let's try these 2 dice. God damn it. That's a 5. God damn it. All my dice suck today. This is terrible.
What is it you're saying to this person?
I wanted to say to them, I'm an important person, an important figure, come from the head office, and I wish to speak. I want the general here right now.
Oh, you go wake up the general? Yeah.
Go wake up the general and bring them here.
Okay. Right. Okay. So if I could just get some ID, then I can tell the general who it is. Yeah, I could do that.
I look at Demon Mook number 2 and say, show them the ID. Wink, wink.
Joey, did Jack send you with IDs?
I think Jack sent us with instructions to help Bell in any way possible to get him in and out with as little trouble as possible. So if I have a way of conjuring an ID or a way of convincing this person, like, this slip of paper is absolutely ID.
Let's roll let it out with a +1.
Okay.
Just dice +1.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a 10 on the dice. +1 is 11.
Whew. Hot diggity. Okay, so yeah, you pull these papers out of nowhere, present them on the table. The attaché or secretary to the general is like, oh, right, okay, yeah, great, I'll take these, and I'll be right back. And they actually disappear through the general's door, like their office. So behind them, and close the door on their way through.
Well, that was easy.
Yes, I am suspicious of how easy that was. I also meant for you to use your sticky thingy and.
Oh yeah,
scare
it doesn't
them.
really work that way. So it has to take something into it before it can put something out of it. So that's why we're able to shock that guy, because we took in the electricity from the fence, if you remember.
I really just wanted you to just wave it around and be intimidating for like 2 seconds.
Oh. Well,
That
I
was
could
the
have
wink.
done that. Well,
that was the wink. Just so you know, when I wink, it means,
to wave it around.
intimidate.
Got it. I'm very intimidating.
Are you? Do people tell you that?
Well,
We have a brief cutaway where we see that the general sleeps in her office and is getting up from a cot, fully dressed.
Yikes. Jeez, take a break, lady.
Well, she's running a secret government program in non-extradition territory. This is yeah. But when she with the camera that you all can't see this, right? This is just for the audience. The camera sees her get up, tuck the tentacle back into her right sleeve and pin the sleeve up as if she doesn't have a right arm, which is a lie. She's doing a lie. And pulls on like a tactical vest and indicates for the secretary to do as well. But they're not coming out shooting, right? They're just like, I don't trust this situation, right? But in a moment, the secretary opens the door, steps out. You do notice the secretary now has his tac vest on and sidearm, and I don't think he has a rifle with him, but like he looks a lot more ready than he did a minute ago. And then the general follows him out, kind of like stands in the doorway and is holding your papers in her hand and says, all right, Mr. Flutterer?
Just call me Bell.
But okay, that is incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Okay. Please come in.
Yep, I will step in. I will look at them and be like, you two, wait here until I give you a signal.
sure, whatever you say.
Excellent.
The secretary's eyes are just kind of wide as Belle follows the general into the office and the door closes and the three of you are just waiting out here.
I lean over to demon number 1. I don't know how we're going to see him wink through that door.
Maybe it'll be like an audible.
Oh, that makes sense.
I mean, if he taps his arm,
Yeah, that's a good signal.
does it make a sound like a bell?
The secretary says, what would the signal mean?
We wave it around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the office, Belle, the general like walks behind her desk but doesn't really sit down. It doesn't really invite you to sit in one of the chairs facing her desk.
But I 100% do. And
Oh,
make
okay.
myself
And
very
we're talking like old green metal desk with the metal cage fan, like desk fan, the oscillating fan. There's a desk lamp on the other side. This is all like 1950s equipment, right? There's a metal filing cabinet in the corner, probably a couple of them, right? 3 drawers tall. There's like a dead plant on top of one of them, and not a whole lot else in the room. The cot situation is all like there's like a little alcove with the bathroom and sleeping area like off to the side, so you can't really see that part. But Belle, I do want you to roll. We're not officially doing figure someone out, but I would like you to roll a custom plus mind roll.
All right. I mean, I was going to roll figure someone out as soon as we start
Well,
talking,
let's just do that then. How we doing?
That is a 2 and a 1 on the dice. Those dice are also dead to me.
Jay,
For
no.
Going through a lot of
4.
dice today.
Yep. Yep, I am. Oh, man. My dice are
the
very
curse
mad that
is
I have not
real.
used them in a couple of weeks.
We
Yeah.
just found a giant jail. We can put them all in.
Yep. Okay,
boy.
so that's a total of 4-ish.
That's a 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and ask one of the questions anyway.
I was gonna ask, how could I put this character in my debt? How can I put the general in my debt?
Okay. Oh, well, first, I want to explain. You get to ask a question because there's this clause in here that says if you're in their circle, ask an additional question even on a miss.
Got it.
Right? And so something about her is pinging like demons, right?
it.
Or at least wild, right? We're
Wild circle.
not totally sure what's going on with that,
Yep.
but so what was the question again?
How can I put this person in my debt?
Interesting. I think you could tell that she is in some kind of binding contract that is bigger than the papers you signed with the U.S. government.
Yep.
And something's going on with that. And like, if you could like break that pact, which is not impossible, right? That's a thing you can arrange, depending on the resources involved. But if you could break that in a way that doesn't mean like bringing this building down around your ears, you know, you feel like there's something there, right? Like she would have to tell you more about the pact because you couldn't pick up enough information. But she's also going to perceive something about you. What's your character hoping to get from this whole situation?
I mean, a trouble-free life is what I'm trying to get to. I just want less issues for me to deal with.
Okay, so you're not trying to blow the place up or let everyone out or like
Nope.
those aren't on your to-do list.
Those are not on my to-do list.
Okay.
I just want things to not be trouble.
Okay. All right. Okay, actually that's going to go a lot in your favor there. So, yeah, she turns and remains standing kind of at a parade rest, puts her left hand behind her back. And I will say a part of your figure someone out roll was being able to tell if there was like something up with her right arm. And I don't think you've noticed. The audience sees like some wiggling under the, but you know, Belle doesn't pick up on it.
Yep.
And she just stands there at parade rest behind her desk, sort of raises an eyebrow as you sit in one of the chairs. And she says, so, Mr. Bell, as you said, what is it I can do for you?
Well, you and I have a friend in common.
Really?
I know her as Pancakes. You probably know her by some other name.
Right. Okay.
She and I have recently entered into some business dealings.
All right. How much do you want to send her back to me?
Actually, I don't want to send her back.
Ugh.
I want her to remain where she is. I want our business to continue unabated. And I would like it if you left her alone.
You
And I
realize
don't-
that's... What department are you from again? Human resources.
Let's just gloss over that. And let's just say I'm in a position to help you if you're in a position to help me. Look, the easy way for me to do this is to get all demony and tear this whole place down and kill you and everyone here and reduce this place to a smoking hole in the ground.
Easier said than done, but go ahead.
It can still be done. So let's not do that, and let's see if there's just some arrangement we can come to. I'm sure there's something that you want. I'm a person who gets things for people.
I can't imagine what you could do for me. I am in a great position of responsibility here. I am well trusted. This is a position that is going to advance my career. So I think we're at an impasse, Mr. Bell, and you are dismissed.
All right, here is. Let's try it. Let's try the old persuady.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong at this point? I mean, I'm on like my 7th set of dice, so.
This is why it's important to have as many sets of dice as possible.
Well, this one
Very.
isn't so bad. Let's with heart persuade.
Plus heart.
Heart. Hold on. That is an 8.
Okay.
Hey.
That's an actual hit.
All right. A palpable hit. Okay, so they're gonna counter your offer. So your offer is leave us alone and I'll do something for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Leave us alone, and I can make life better for you.
Okay. All right. So you had mentioned getting all demony, right? You said that
Yes.
out loud, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
say that
okay.
out loud. That was I did mention that this could turn violent. Don't want to.
Well, I wonder what all you would be able to do for me. And in that I have a particular private situation that has obligated me to certain things, and I would like to be making my own decisions independent of that obligation. If you follow me?
I do follow you. I do. I'm trying.
And I wonder if there's anything you'd be able to do about this. Oh, it's her left hand. And she like, does I don't even know what a uniform looks like. I assume there's like a top button, right? And she like pulls this, like shows you the kind of the top right part of her shoulder. You can't see any indication of the tentacle yet, but there is this like glowing, like sort of purpley blue glowing sigil there. And
Okay.
you're familiar. It's from one of the levels of hell, and it's one of those horrible like demon princes type thing. It's not a literal prince, like you would get in a lot of trouble if you effed with a prince, but it's she made a deal with someone and is under an obligation. So you could possibly do some magic, or I don't know what resources are on your character sheet there, but
I am looking at my resources. Well, I'm thinking about I mean, can I do a circle move?
I'm open to which one are you thinking about?
I'm either thinking put a name to a face, or hit the streets. Actually,
Yeah.
I think put a name to a face is probably going to be more useful right now.
Well, I think you've got a pretty good idea of who is doing this. But they also, there could be a debt something there that if they owed you a
Exactly.
debt, then you could get something out of that.
That's why I was looking at put a name to a face. That if I roll well,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is a big
okay.
if today, this could be really good for us.
I like it. Yeah, roll plus wild.
All right. Hey, well, at least that is a 7 on the dice. Plus my wild is an 8.
Okay. So on a 10 plus, you've dealt with them before, learned something about. On a miss, you don't know them or you owe them. Oh, on a hit, you know their reputation.
Right.
Okay, so you don't necessarily have something useful. They don't owe you a debt, but you do know this is actually somebody in direct competition with the prince you escaped from. And that's resolved, right? Like that prince is like you did the deals, you like got away.
Yeah, I mean, they still want me back.
Yeah, that would be ideal, but they're like that's low key resolved for now. And but I'm imagining the cosmology of Dante's Inferno with the nine levels of hell and all that. And so this is a prince one cake layer up from the one you escaped, which is actually less prestigious, right? You want to be down at the bottom. And so actually putting one over on this prince would actually go really well for you. Like in the long run, it could even, depending on how well it went, like AKA how well you roll, it might even put let's say you came out of the 5th layer. I don't remember what they're all supposed to be. And this one is from the 4th. It would put you in favor with the prince of the 5th layer. So
I'm liking all of this. So I mean, that's what I will say to her. I'll say, look, I know who you are indebted to. I have some history and some access. And if you are willing to let Pancakes go, I can make arrangements to get you released from your bondage.
Okay. All right, Jay, do a quick just custom mind roll for me.
Stick with those good dice. With those better dice. None of my dice have been good today. At least these are better. Oh, much better. That, my friend, is a 10 on a dice.
Oh, okay.
Plus a 1 for the old mind.
Excellent. So this time, when you make your offer, you can see the light in her eye, almost literally, right? Of actually, this is a pretty good deal. And so the following thing, I'm going to have you roll with advantage. But right off the bat, she says, so Pancakes and her whole crew, I assume, is in you're implying that this is part of the deal. Am I able to get the return of Richardson and Stevenson?
Not so much.
What about one of them? I mean, I'm willing to deal here. I'm interested. Okay?
I understand.
I'll tell you.
Stevenson is now with Ismita's people, right? With Ismita's patron.
Okay, I thought maybe he was dead because he's got a weird reading, but okay.
And Richardson, is Richardson alive?
Yeah, I think she's just missing an eye.
Where did we leave her, actually, out of character?
I think Richardson's in Pancake's care. So yes, I can get you Richardson.
Okay.
Stevenson, another interested party entered the field and has laid claim, and I do not wish to cross them.
I think I can work with this. Our records show him as dead, so I mean,
there we go.
That's
Problem
not always
solved.
the end of a story, but I think we can deal.
Right.
So if you can help me with this, and she gestures to the sigil through her shirt. Now that you know where it is, you can almost see it glowing through the shirt a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I'll receive delivery of Richardson and write off Stevenson and remove Pancakes and her crew from the books.
I think that is a fair arrangement if you are willing to make it.
Okay. What do we need to resolve this? And then, so Jay, I'm going to have you roll. I think it's got to be let it out, but I don't remember what your let it out options are.
I mean, my let it out options are sniff out a secret stash, infiltrate, teleport back home, and inflict 4 harm. None of which I want to do here.
Yeah, we might have to just do a custom spirit roll.
All right.
Yeah.
That is a 7.
Oh boy. Okay. Best possible scenario.
For
Always
whom?
scares me when he says that.
Okay, so this is gonna be fun for everybody. The Bill, what does the magic look like as you're you're just trying to like shatter the spell? And you figure it out, like, okay, yeah, I know how to do it, I know, how to break the spell. What does it look like when you're working on that?
Well, I mean, because I do have the complication of the glass arm,
Mm-hmm.
and it's normally something I would be doing with my left hand, dark magics and all.
Sure.
So normally it's just sort of laying on of hands, but I imagine the glass arm is glowing
Okay.
and possibly heating up.
Yeah. All of that
all
beautiful
refracting
stained
light.
glass mosaic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, as I attempt to basically wipe the charm away.
Okay. There is a moment where you're doing that and you kind of like press your thumb into the sigil, and you both hear, like, the general reacts to the sound as well. You hear this like sound of shattering glass, like just a big plate of glass shattering and tinkling to the ground. But all that does is this sigil stops glowing and turns into what looks like a tattoo, just like a black tattoo. And it's got these like cracks in it as like part of the art of the tattoo. And it just looks like this, shattered coin kind of thing. It's, a little bit bigger than a silver dollar. And in the course of this, the general is so, she's like, oh, I'm free. But then from behind her, this mass of tentacles just like springs from behind the desk, is like grabbing the tentacles, or grabbing the desk, grabbing her, grabbing at you. You two outside can hear like a massive commotion, right? There's the shattering sound, and then the furniture being thrown around. I mean, that might be the signal. I don't,
I think that must be
signal.
it. That's
Yep,
the signal.
that sounds like a signal to me.
Yeah, and the secretary is like, what is going on? And like draws his gun, like, but yeah, you burst in, and there's just this like 7 or 8 tentacles coming out from behind the desk. The general is like sort of pressed against the file cabinets in one tentacle. She's wrapped up and wasn't able to draw a weapon or anything. But Belle, if the general is killed, this deal isn't gonna remain, right? Like, you're gonna have to go through all of this again with whoever's put in charge after her. So saving her is, one option, and not have to deal with that again.
I think we may have interrupted some private time. Maybe it wasn't the signal.
Hey, Belle, was that the signal?
I'm going to leave that as a problem for another day. This got all messy.
Okay, well, the tentacles are also coming after you, Belle. So if you're just trying to leave, we're gonna have to roll escape a situation.
Do I want to just leave? I'm really torn here. Because you know me, I do not like a messy situation.
Mm-hmm.
I do not wish to get my hands dirty with other people's problems.
Mm-hmm. However, you're not totally unfamiliar with a jut of tentacles coming out of nowhere, and if you could cut most of them down, the spell will die off, and
All right, well then, fine. Then I'm gonna let it out to unlock 4 harm.
Okay.
Well, does this count as an unsuspecting target, or
kind of, yeah, because it's just like a dumb plant, right?
Yeah.
But it's like fleshy pink tentacles with suckers on them, and but yeah, they don't seem particularly intelligent. It's just like an angry animal or plant. What do we got?
Snake eyes.
Oh no.
Oh no!
My dice really hate me today.
Okay.
This is it. And now we find the real reason why Bella hates messy situations.
God damn it.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm not good at it.
So, Belle, I think we also used your "I'm a fucking demon."
Yeah, no, I used it. Used it in this scene.
Okay.
I will consider that this scene.
Okay. So, one of them grabs you around the waist. 4 more grab your arms and legs and are like in the process of pulling you apart. And that hurts a lot. So we'll go ahead and mark 2 harm.
Yeah.
They haven't actually removed anything from your body yet, but they do have a pretty good grip on you. And demons, this definitely falls into the total category of make sure Belle leaves safe, because otherwise it's problematic. So feel free to jump in however you'd like.
Yeah.
Please jump in.
I think Demon 2, who has been smiling the entire time, I'm basically basing him on a Disneyland cast member. His smile extends past his face, and teeth get all super jaggedy and gross, and we're gonna eat some calamari. We're gonna have a snack.
Yeah. All right. Let's roll get dirty.
All right.
Turn to violence.
Okay. Just flat?
Belle, what's your blood?
My blood is a whopping 0.
Okay. What's Esmita's blood?
2.
Okay, I'm gonna give you both demons a +1.
Okay. That is a 9 on the dice, +1 is a 10.
Okay. Yeah,
Can I roll this well on my own character?
Yeah, right. You chomp into it. On a hit, you inflict harm as established. Your opposition chooses 1. On a 10+, you also choose 1. So the opposition is going to just inflict harm on you. So you take 2 harm as you get batted around, but they don't manage to grab you because they don't put you in a bad spot. But on the 10+, you get to pick 1 from that second list there.
We're doing the 5 harm track on these demons as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if possible, I would like to take something from them, and that thing would be Belle.
Oh, okay, yeah. You chomp through that. Let's say you chomp through that main. You chomp through the tentacle that has his glass arm.
Okay.
All right. He's held like 5 ways. So you get the glass arm and you get the torso free. So Belle,
Whoa.
your right arm is the meat arm, right?
Yep, right arm's the meat arm.
Right arm and both your legs are still grabbed and you're still like lifted up off the ground, but your left arm is free.
And you said 2 harm, right, Jason?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to drive that
And I've
down
I've
right.
marked harm for the tentacular creature. Pooja.
I am gonna say that Demon 1, like, you see like the horns and a forked tail come out,
Awesome.
and it's very much like spitting image of like, this is an demon from hell, like
Mm-hmm.
like poster child.
Yep.
And she
The
takes
horrible
out-
poster child.
and she starts taking out throwing tridents.
Mm.
So like
Ooh.
instead of knives, they're tiny tridents. They're
Sure.
red.
Yes.
I
like
love
that
it.
candy red.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here
And
for it.
and throws them at the tentacles.
Okay. Let's roll blood. +1.
Oh yeah, boxcars.
Oh, Jay, these demons you brought with you are doing way better.
They are doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I potentially
So,
want to hire you.
Pooja, I'm also going to have it inflict 2 harm on you. It's not able to grab you, and it's not trying to flee. But then you also get to pick 1 from that second list.
So let me pull this up real quick. Sorry, I'm on the wrong set of moves.
Yeah, it's page 8 on if you have the full document there.
Yeah.
Oh, 10. Page 10, sorry. 10 comes after 9. Weird.
I'm gonna inflict. You know what? I'll create an opportunity for an ally, because
Okay.
Bell can, with his glass arm free and then distraction,
Mhm.
thanks to calamari being on the menu.
Yeah, I think one of the big opportunities you create is you're actually like pinning down some of those, like the tentacles that let him go are now pinned down and like, Like now they're shorthanded.
Boo.
So I'm gonna make a hard move, and the tentacle like just squeezes the crap out of the general, and you could hear like bones cracking, and she like gasps but can't even scream. Right? She's not dead, but yeah, if she dies, Belle, this is gonna be like reset. All of this was for nothing. So
Which, again, fine, but okay, whatever. I'm in it now. Of course, if she dies, I just leave. So,
Janet's
is it my
having a
turn
lot to
again?
say about what's happening out in front of the house. Come here, Bubba. Hi, you're okay. There's no tentacle monster. It's pretend. It's pretend, okay? She doesn't want to get up here, though.
Aw.
Yeah, it's okay. You go sit in your bed. I brought a bed in here just for you. She's very upset about something. There's probably a pit bull outside because she loves dogs more than anything. And our neighbors across the street have a big old pit bull.
All right, so I guess this is my turn again here.
Yep.
I guess I will. I mean, I'll try to escape the situation
Okay.
of being tied up here. Again with the bad rolls. That is a 6.
Even with the create an opportunity kind of.
Oh, I never had you roll with advantage, did I?
No, I never did. Okay, maybe I'll roll that with advantage.
Yeah, whenever you can just throw that in whenever you want. If you want to keep your 6, that's fine. If you want to roll with advantage now, you go ahead.
Let me roll with advantage now.
Okay. So
Well,
6 is pretty darn close. So
that is much better though. So with advantage, that gets me to a 10.
Ooh, okay. So I was actually going to suggest rather than, because it's still blood either way, I think like if you want to call this turn to violence, well, I guess if you don't, like if you do choose that, they can inflict some harm on you. But with a 10 plus, you would be able to like inflict terrible harm or take something from them, create an opportunity for an ally, like get the general out of the grasp.
Yeah. I guess that's what I want to do. Because I'm trying to survive here. I'm gonna get the general out of the grasp.
Okay, and so you you sort of get yourself going. You get your glass hand involved and start chopping your way through. I think one of the tentacles still has your left foot. All right, but you've like dragged yourself over and hacked the general free. And she's like gasping and trying to get. She draws her gun and is like shooting at whatever the massive tentacles has come from behind her desk, right?
Yeah.
And she's just shooting at whatever's behind her desk. And so it's also very loud in here now. Demons? Anything?
I mean, I'm down to do another nosh. Like,
Okay.
let's get some more calamari. Let's do it.
That sounds good. I'm getting sushi.
Right?
for
I
lunch.
really want calamari now.
I know, right?
Okay, well that is a 7 total.
Okay.
6 on the dice plus 1, 7.
I like it. Okay. So on a hit, you inflict harm as established, and your opposition chooses 1. You don't get the 10 plus though.
That's okay.
Yep. I think it does 2 more harm.
Okay.
But so do you. And that's like a whole other tentacle free. Actually, Belle, I think that gets your foot free. So there's just like 3 more tentacles that are just whipping around the room. They don't have anyone grabbed right now. So Esmita, what do you want to do?
I am going to take out a larger trident from don't think about it too hard.
Maybe you like just stretch one of them out.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
It's like take a throwing trident, pull the end, and suddenly it's a real trident.
Yep.
And stab.
Okay. Let's do that.
And that is, ooh, 6 on the dice plus 1 is a 7.
Okay, same deal. You're gonna take 2 harm, but you have like pinned / sliced off another tentacle. It's only got the 2 left. Belle, what do you? I'm not gonna take a hard move because I only have 2 tentacles left. So, Belle, what are you gonna do?
All right, I am going to. I guess I'm going to turn to violence and give it an old punchy punch with the glass arm.
Okay. Well, careful, you might hurt it.
That is exactly, honestly, what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I misread the situation.
Oh, hey, that's a good one. That is an 11 on the dice.
Oh, right. Okay.
Plus blood, so that's an 11.
Okay. So they're gonna inflict harm on you. So two more harm for you,
Don't like that.
which puts you at 4, I think.
That does put me at 4.
Okay. But you have the option of that second list, and I'll tell you, you may want to choose inflict terrible harm.
That's exactly what I was going to choose.
Okay. So yeah, you just start slamming this thing. You're just bashing through it, and eventually you're able to get behind the desk to where this like weird hole has opened up in the concrete floor. And it's like a hole to hell, right? Like it's not a big mystery to you. But you're able to just like punch into that, and it sort of collapses in on itself, and it unexplodes the concrete. Like the concrete goes back. You know those old like windshield fixing commercials where they like put the stuff in the windshield and the crack just goes away? That's what happens to the floor right now. Is it just like uncrumbles, fills back in, and then it's weirdly quiet in here. However, there are like 10-foot long strips of tentacle in here, just like laying on the floor. It smells gross.
Totally.
It smells like somehow both overcooked and rotten seafood.
This is also gross.
Yep. But the general, gasping is like trying to, like she's holding her ribs a little bit. And her, there's still no right arm, but now there's the audience can be confirmed. There's no tentacle under there either. So, just back to having one arm like she's supposed to.
Oh, God. Okay.
And, she, kind of puts her gun on the desk and is like trying to lean against the desk and hold her ribs and finally just like slumps into her chair. It says, "Okay, Mr. Bell, we have a deal." And you can feel, the pact forms, and she is genuine in her oath, and you've done what you needed to do.
Great. Excellent. Glad to hear it. I will be on my way.
Okay. I'll instruct everyone to stand down and let you go.
You don't need to worry about that. And let's see, I have to roll for it. So
that's right. I forgot you had to let it out to go home.
Here's hoping this is going to work.
Oh, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Hey, nothing this time. It is a 9 on the dice.
Plus 1 spirit, right?
Plus 1 for spirit for a 10.
Okay, do you want corruption or complication?
I'm going to take the corruption.
Okay. Are you leveling up your corruption yet?
No, I don't think I was really trying to, but I'm not yet.
Okay. All right. So, you escape out of there. Demons, we leave you holding the bag at the army base. You could probably fight your way out of there. It's not a big deal.
I think that Jake also gave us a go home charm.
Oh, okay.
For what,
so you just
whoop
and puff
everybody just leaves.
Just wave.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And you vanish out of there.
I'm definitely taking a tentacle doggy bag.
Sure. Yeah.
Because
Probably smells good to demons. Gross.
Oh yeah.
It's delicacy, and it's not every day you get fresh.
Yeah.
Right.
Helticles? Okay, I was looking for a portmanteau there and I lost it.
No, so long as it's not hentai tickles.
No, that's
No.
not.
That's
That's a whole other channel.
Yep.
All right, so this is a good place to take our break. Bell has returned back to his shop. There is a lot of, let's see. Well, no, I guess the wizards have vacated the building. So yeah, it's just quiet. It's just quiet and dark in your shop when you get back. There's no wild raven trying to bite you, and there's no there are no twin demons waiting for you to put their heads back on.
Nobody summoned anything into my shop?
Nope.
That's great. Perfect.
Everything is fine and good. So we will pick up here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and take the 10 minutes though, because I know I'm going to need an extra minute. So we'll call it 10. I'm going to put up the 4-minute timer because I don't have a 10-minute timer. So audience, thank you so much for hanging with us. We will be back in just a moment. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. I'm joined here by Pooja playing Asmita, Joey playing Ryan, and Jay playing Belle. Sarah fucked off. No, Samantha joined us for a very fun run of wizardry, but was not able to join us for the finale. So that's a little bit why we tied her up last episode with the being tethered to her apartment, literally. So that's yeah. But of course, people's real lives take precedent over the scheduling of games, and that's how it goes.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
Let's pick up with where Ryan and Asmita were. Oh, by the way, before we do, I have to say, Pooja and Joey, thank you so much for taking up the roles of these demons that were absolutely adorable. And by the way, audience, I did not warn them about that at all. I had meant to several times this week. I should call and ask them if they're okay with that, and never did. So here we are.
Surprise mooks are the best mooks.
Yeah, it was delightful. Thank you for doing that. Especially for the moments where we got to just one up Belle by accident.
Yep.
Like, oh, that's an electric fence, just so you know. Okay.
Should have led with that.
Yep. Yeah. Seems like you kind of buried the lead on that one. So,
I mean, if you're not going to ask the question, you can't get the answer.
Also, did you want lead? We could have brought lead. Lead with that.
Yeah. Yep. I was there. I was just sad that I was there. So, Asmita, what are you up to?
Well, I think at this point we have the Largemont configuration puzzle box, and we're gonna contact Mrs. Lane to negotiate. Hopefully not in a fifth sense negotiate.
Yeah, remind me the puzzle box thing again. What were we doing?
That's where Ms. Lane's
Lane.
is.
Yes, her wife's soul.
Yeah,
okay.
The Hellraiser box.
Okay. So we'll get to is that a call Asmita was probably gonna make?
I think it's a call we're all gonna make together.
Okay.
Like this was maybe we should wait for Belle to see what the situation is there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think let's see what the time difference to Madagascar is, because he just showed back up in this thing. Let's see what time it is in California. Madagascar.
Well, it's currently 11:51
time
a.m. in California,
which makes it 9:51 p.m. in Madagascar. And it was the middle of the night when he was there. So let's say it's like 2 in the afternoon now in California, right? Because that would have been like almost midnight in Madagascar.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That tracks.
Or midnight. It's actually exactly midnight. Okay.
Great. So I am back in my shop at 2 in the afternoon, ready for a cup of tea
Right.
and a very quiet afternoon.
Does Bell need sleep like a person? Like what does his sort of biological need?
I mean, I think he likes sleeping. I don't know if I know that he needs it, but he certainly enjoys a good nap.
Sure. Okay.
And he's been up all night, flying around the world and then teleporting back and
Yep.
being grabbed by tentacles. So,
Yeah, and I love the image of Bell coming back to like the shop is actually quiet. Like you come back and like your window's still busted in from the sniper shot and some bookshelves are still knocked over, but nothing else has happened, right? It's like quiet in there. The window's boarded up.
Yep.
The shop's not open. You're not going to open up today.
Nope.
And you're in your office and no one is there. No one's messing with your fridge. No one's getting spare clothes out of some nook and cranny that you didn't know existed.
Oh, boy.
And you actually have a moment.
A nice, quiet, at peace moment. Make a nice cup of tea.
Okay.
Sit at my desk. Do a little paperwork.
Okay.
Lay down on my couch.
Actually, like nod off for a little bit.
Yep.
Yep.
That's great. This is perfect. Everything is perfect.
Ryan.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you were doing?
Well, I was with Asmita. We would just talk to his name just left my mind. The potions guy.
Abe.
Abe. Yeah, we talked to Abe. I'm sorry, the potions person. And so I was with them. And I feel like our plan was just to wait for Belle to get back. So if I may, I like the idea of Belle just nodding off, very much in that vein of Bilbo Baggins sitting down to dinner, quiet night at home, picks up the fork, and then just...
Okay, I want to get to that. I just want to rewind a little bit to Ryan's day before that, because there was a couple hours in between there.
Okay.
And I do have a thing that is happening to Ryan, around Ryan, with Ryan.
Yeah.
we shall see what adverb that we want to apply to that.
So I think if there's time passing then a little bit, he would have tried to get in contact with his new pixie pals.
Okay.
To try to figure out our next move against...
Pixie pals, come and get your pixie pals.
Sure.
The picture pages? Nothing?
Nope.
Oh, I'm so old. Okay. Nobody else? Picture pages? Okay. Never mind. I guess it was kind of a cheap Reading Rainbow. It was on par with that. Anyway,
now, did that come
Ryan,
on before or after Howdy Doody?
Okay, I'm not that old. That's Dorkle Canada. Oh, sorry. I love you. That was vicious.
Cream for that
and it felt kind of good, but I also feel bad about it. I feel bad about feeling good. That's yeah.
That's how I feel all the time, Jason.
Yeah.
All the time.
Wait, am I allowed to feel good? Oh no. Yeah. God damn it. Okay. So Ryan, you were having a meeting with the Fae, the Pixies specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Pumpkin and Snow had kind of left to do something, hadn't they? Like they
were going to keep an eye on Claude and make sure we know like what he's up to.
Okay.
And they
Then
were gonna spread the rumor that Claude was like betraying. The Fae and
that's
betrayed his word.
Yeah, I was definitely having them go and start letting people know about Claude's fuckery.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he called my bluff, or not called my bluff, but I threatened him with it, and he's like, "Okay, and I'm like, all right, well, this is what we're doing. All right."
Yeah. I mean, to be clear, he did not seem to take your threat seriously. That is an absolute okay interpretation of events.
Yeah.
But remind me what Ryan's antlers look like.
They're very Elf King from, again, The Hobbit, whose name I can never pronounce correctly, and it's a shame because I love him. Thranduil, I think, is close. Lee Pace.
Thranduil, I think.
Yeah. So very crown of thorn, not thorns, crown of horns.
Okay.
Antlers. Crown of antlers.
Sort of a round, but not like the big flat part of a moose antler.
No, very deer.
Okay.
Buck-esque.
Yeah. Okay. You feel a pull in the antlers, right? Of like, you know that Carnunus wants to get your attention, right? There's a couple ways you could serve that. You could go to a mirror. You could look into still water. You could step through a circle of mushrooms, right? But whatever it is, Carnunus would like to speak with you.
Sure. I will look. Sorry, it's so dark.
Moose erasure? Yeah, I'm also dying. Excuse you, Dorklick Canada. You're not allowed to be funnier than all of us combined, so please stop.
It's rude.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna go super industrial-esque and like the reflective surface of like a nearby car's bumper or something, like something upon a car that's super reflective.
Okay, so you kind of just like take a knee next to the bumper and
yeah,
okay. So you see kind of this warped image of Carnunos, but as his image comes through, the chrome of the bumper actually like flattens to perfect his image, right? Because he's not willing to have his image be warped and,
of course, and
distorted. And the car, like the bumper actually like, you hear like the metal kind of like creak and bend to make a flat surface. You're like, well, that bumper's broken.
Not my car.
Not your car.
Not my problem.
Not your problem. And you see, kind of from like mid chest up, right? His like broad shoulders and his regal features, and he speaks to you. The sound doesn't literally come out of the car; it's coming into your mind, right? But he says, "The time has come to make our move, son."
Our move, you say? I'm very intrigued. Which move are we speaking of?
Claude, in representing Oberon the False King, has violated every rule of the Fae. Well documented in my records. Oberon has outlived his time as sole monarch. And it is my time to take my place in the court. And you will help. Are you prepared?
What would you ask of me?
You will expose Claude and all of his doings. We will show that Oberon is directly responsible for Claude's actions. Oberon will be forced to step back from the throne. And I will be able to show my dominance in the court, finally, as is my right.
Are you worried about any repercussions from Titania or Mab? Anybody else making a power grab?
They will certainly be... They will object. But the argument is ironclad.
I agree. Those receipts shall be gotten.
God damn it, Dorklick Canada.
So good.
Okay, so for the YouTube record later, can someone else read it, please? Because I'm literally dead.
Time for Oberon to be Obergone, am I right? Carnunos, probably.
Wow.
you.
God
Good.
damn
It's
it.
too true. It's too true.
Oh,
Mwah.
oh look, my
Holy
skin
crap.
can be the same color as my hair. Who knew? It's a
Crying.
mauve. Okay, I can breathe. This is fine.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. This is fine. I'm fine. So, long story short, Cernunnos is making a power grab for rulership of the Fae. He's not trying to murder Oberon, right?
No.
That's also like Fae can't really die, so that's kind of a pointless. Also, if he did kill Oberon, like he would never be forgiven, right? He would be driven out of the Fae, and like that's just the greatest sin that somebody could
and-
commit. So
Balance, there'd be no balance.
Right.
It would be ugly. Yeah.
it'll be up to Titania whether she decides to now be Cernunnos' queen or not. Like that's her choice, and Mab is gonna be pissed because she's just Mab and she's mad
Always
at
pissed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she's just mad a lot. So, but it'll be their choice whether they're gonna go along with him as the new king, right? That's
Yeah.
who knows that part. But Ryan, you are being asked to play a part in usurping the throne. So just want to make sure that's 100% clear that that's what's been presented to you.
Yeah. I think, yeah, Ryan's in. Ryan, I mean, clearly Oberon chose Claude over Ryan.
Yep.
He took Claude's word over Ryan's. And so, you know what? If you got fooled by Claude, it's time to take a step back.
Yeah.
Like, let's go have a timeout for a century or two and then come back.
Okay. Okay. I like
Think
that.
about what you've done.
Yep. All right.
You all fucked around. Now you're about to find out.
Yep. I like it. I like it. Even King Oberon getting team find out. Okay. So you have committed to Cernunnos that you are gonna like hang Claude out to dry.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, great. All right, I like that. Asmita, you were getting ready to kind of place the call, but you wanted to get everyone together before calling Mrs. Lane.
And I want to do like kind of a check-in with Stevenson.
Okay. Yes.
I need to know if you're in to see this through to prevent this war between the Fae and the super soldiers apparently that you have created.
Yeah, I think while you all were running around doing different stuff, around 1 in the afternoon or so is when Bell managed to affect this change, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a moment where you're talking to Stevenson, and he like sits up a little bit straighter, swallows like he's like like looks visibly uncomfortable, and then takes a deep breath and says, I no longer serve 2 rulers, but just Ritra.
As it should be. Trust me, she doesn't like to share. That would have only ended badly for you.
And you could see him going like making this mental calculation of like, maybe I could make a life here, right? Like I could make this work for me. He was in the secret program because of the powers that it afforded him, as a sort of undead. He is undead, by the way, just so you know. As an undead creature. And he's there's a lot less pressure of him on your mind now because he's actually Okay, did I mute in time? I think so.
You did.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Great. He's actually like he had already agreed to bind to Vritra, but now he actually like is happy about it. Does that make sense? Like he's like, oh, Ooh, actually, okay, yeah. I've been released from my previous obligation. Let's see how we can make this go forward. Okay, yeah. I'm on team Esmita and Vritra, and yeah, he doesn't literally say that to you, but you can feel this happen, right? Like there's less pressure on your mind. He's not pulling against you, right? He's like trying to cooperate. So,
Well, that's a relief.
um
I mean, I don't trust him as far as I could, teleport him. But
yeah, I mean, he would like to outrank you with Vritra now, but like, good luck with that, buddy.
I mean, a leopard can't change their spots,
Nor should they.
especially when they're nice and scaly.
Right? Yeah, that was good. So yeah, he says, yeah, I'm very interested to see how this plays out. I would like to be there firsthand if you'll let me.
Yeah. I mean, just know if you attempt to betray me or mine, then there won't be enough left of you for Vritra to gather up.
No. Someday I will make a move against you, but that's not right now. I'm interested in honoring Vritra more than anything. So,
As long as we're clear, I guess.
one day, your time will come. It's like he's like smiling with this threat, like.
It's like, roll my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. We gotta go meet Belle. He's gotta be back soon.
I would like to put my rifle together, if that's all right, and cover you all when you are meeting. Are you going to go meet with her in person or make a phone call, or what's the plan?
Well, we first have to call and set up a meet and contact. But yeah, your skills as a sniper will come in handy for our side for once.
So perhaps I could go scout the constellation while you three are meeting.
Yeah, don't get caught.
Easily done. Okay. I will report any information that I think you might need to know.
Good.
All right. And you could, like, without even rolling, like, you're packed. Like, all of this is, like, in line. Like, he has to tell you the truth. And, he's also serious about, like, he's going to get one over on you one day. But he thinks that's true.
Yeah.
That's cute. It's cute,
It's
really.
like, well, so long as it's not today, we'll deal. Future is Mita's problem.
Yep. So, yeah, he gets the case that holds his sniper rifle and heads out to go take a position where he can watch what's going on at the hotel. And then we get, just as Belle is nodding off on the couch, Ryan and Esmita knocking on the side door, because the front is all like boarded up right now. But head over to that side door by the office, I think. And yeah, Belle, there's a rapping at your chamber door.
We're closed.
No shit.
Go away.
Come on, is that any way to talk to your friends?
I just got home.
Do you need me
I'm
to get
taking
Reggie
a
down
nap.
here?
Okay, fine. I open the door. Hello.
Have you changed at all since you got back from Madagascar? Like change of clothes or anything, or?
Yeah.
Well, I think so. Yeah, he like freshened up and yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
just
mean,
want to
like,
make sure
I'm
you
also
weren't
in my
covered
like.
in tentacle goo.
No. I freshened up, took a shower. I'm in my like comfy clothes. I'm in like harem pants and
Yeah.
a smoking jacket.
Smoking jacket. I was hoping for that. Yes. Okay. Yep.
And like a t-shirt. I'm like, what is?
Yeah, the time is now.
For what? I fix it all with pancakes. Their situation is fine. No one's gonna come to try to kill them anymore. So we can just keep providing them with heads while they do whatever it is they do. And that's the end of it, right? That was all we needed to achieve.
Ryan's ex is trying to create a war between the fairy, the wizards, and Pancakes' people.
What does that have to do with me?
Well, you think the wizards are going to stop there? You're also a known associate of Pancakes and her people.
So, Pancakes can do all the killy that Pancakes does, and
Yes,
really-
because
I don't
they've shown that they care so much about keeping collateral damage to a minimum.
A
They're
little bit of that,
capable?
a little bit of that background too. Remember that Claude was also trying to rope the vampires and werewolves into this deal,
Right.
but they have some inkling that Claude may not have been dealing upright with them. So there could be an opportunity there with vampires and or werewolves. Learning that they had not been dealt off the top of the deck.
I'm just like, that all sounds like a lot of mess that I could just lock my door and let it blow over and then see who's left at the end.
Yeah.
You mean lock the door next to the window that got shot in?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In fact, I could just go on vacation. I should have stayed in Madagascar. Well, I don't want to stay in Madagascar. But I'm gathering that you want me to do something about this.
Well, it seems like it'd be good for business for there not to be a war across all 5 islands.
I mean, I don't know. That sounds like there'd be a lot of very nice magical objects in play, some of which would lose their owners. I don't know. What do you want to do, Ryan? You've got that look on your face that you want to do a thing of what do you want to do?
We need to bring Claude down.
Do we?
Yeah. He's a fucking asshole.
Yes, but won't everyone else take care of him? He's a fucking asshole. They'll kill him.
Unfortunately, not so much.
Not so easily killed.
Mm-hmm.
He's also in the pocket of the Wizard High Council.
And he's being
Mhm.
harbored at the Constellation.
I don't want to go back there.
And now, Belle, out of character, for the record, if the Wizards were to lose this fight, this is the highest profit margin for you. Because they have the most valuable magic items just laying around their council
point.
and the constellation and all that.
Very good point. Very good point. And there would be a nice power vacuum.
Not to mention the winning side of Wizards. CU is
Yep,
pretty favorable and might
Yep,
release
yep.
the embargo they put on you and your potion selling.
That's a fair point. Fair
So,
point.
especially if Abe was able to, rise to a position of power.
Fair
There's
point. That's
certainly
all right.
some opportunity there.
All right. Well, again, Ryan, what is the plan here? You want to take Claude down? How do we do that?
Mrs. Lane,
Mm-hmm. You're gonna need to say a sentence.
Mrs. Lane has we have something Mrs. Lane wants. Mrs.
Okay.
Lane is one of the most powerful wizards in the city. We
All right.
use her to bring down the wizards, and then Claude is ours for the taking.
All right. That's a plan. I like it. I like it. I like that you've done this thinking, which is great. And what do you need me for?
And I can call in the vamps.
Oh,
Because I have a debt.
You were
on-
asking about lingering aspects from Belle's trip. Belle, you have 4 harm.
That's also true. I am, yeah. But didn't I rest up a little there?
Yeah, okay, I'll let one of those go. We'll get out of the serious harm or the whatever that critical harm
Critical.
is. But I don't know that you regenerate a lot, do you?
Well, oh wait, there's a thing with I'm fucking demon. At the end of each scene, I can clear my faint harm box.
Okay. But you have more than faint harm, which means that doesn't. It's if you only have faint harm, then you can clear it. Yeah.
Well, I am.
But I'll clear you down to 3.
I'm down to 3.
So.
I mean, your nose looks a little busted there, buddy. I could help you out with that in exchange for a little help. Tit for tat, if you will, since that's apparently where we're at now.
All right.
Also, Jay, if you're okay with it, is it like a string of like sucker marks around along the neck or
yep.
anything like that? Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he wants to carry around all those hickeys just for anyone to see.
I didn't know
do
you
not.
had it in you.
I do not, and that was not that kind of a trip. Let me tell you, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want me to come with you, I'm gonna need some healing, because otherwise I gotta rest and sleep and recover, finally drink my tea. But if this needs to happen right now, you're gonna need to make it happen right now.
All right, fine. If it'll get you to stop being such a negative Nancy.
Do you have to roll for that, Ryan?
I don't, because I took the ability Skills of Justice, cash in a debt with someone to use a power from fairy magic, targeting them at no cost. So I can do that. I have 3 holds on Bell, so I'll make that 2 holds on Bell. And for Nature's Caress, your touch deals 2 harm, starting with critical harm. Wounds close, bones it back together. I cannot use that power on myself, unfortunately.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
So yeah, I will gently like run my hand over his neck where the sucker bits were, and watch like the green tendrils kind of go through and flatten out the skin, and give it very like fresh skin look, like the skin had just healed over.
Good thing those green tendrils are nothing like tentacles at all.
Hey, they're green and not purple, so you know.
Yep.
I'm feeling a little triggered, but that's okay.
Yep. Fair. I think so. Yep.
Cool.
So, and Bell, at the end of this scene, then I will also let you clear that last faint harm.
Excellent.
But we'll just have to keep it for another moment here in case something were to happen.
Yep.
So, yeah, but that works. You repair that damage. Bell, you feel some pieces kind of like click back into place. You're like, oh, that was sore. I didn't realize how much that was.
Thank you.
But yeah, you're
all right.
Do you see what good can come from this? From helping the Fae who actually want to do good in Santa Sombra?
Do they?
Well, I mean, we want to do more good than Claude.
Well, that is true. Okay, fine. So we're going to talk to Miss Lane to get her help. Is that the plan?
Effectively, yes. Perhaps. I mean, I feel it might be better to have a bit of home field advantage. Perhaps we should bring her here.
All right.
Or,
yeah.
Well, I mean, Stevenson is scoping out the constellation right now, in order to, provide backup over there. And if we meet at the constellation, we could bring in the vamps. Lisbeth does owe me a favor, and she's not exactly a fan of Claude's right now.
I like it. I mean, is it easier if we just go and kill Claude?
Well, first of all, we can't really kill Claude. Second of all, we need proof of his misdeeds.
Which will be easier to get through Mrs. Lane. And then with the vamps and maybe the werewolves as backup, then we can just take care of it. And it, maybe just as a favor to you, your shop doesn't get completely trashed again.
I would definitely appreciate that.
Well, let's go to Orion's.
All right, then let's go.
Now, just based on what some of what was said there, out of character, obviously, if you wanted to pull in the vampires and possibly the werewolves, you may want to arrange that before you go to talk to Mrs. Lane, only because if it does go poorly, like, she might just call the Wizards Council. You know, like, if she decides it's more in her interest to just, like, go to wizard jail for a little while and then, you know, be rid of you guys, you know, that honestly, that conversation could go either way. So if you're hoping to have vampire and or werewolf backup, you may want to do that first.
Great. So I'll call Elizabeth.
Okay. An assistant answers the phone. Yes, how may I help you?
I need to speak to Elizabeth. I have information pertaining her security that is of a rather urgent nature.
And you hear some clicking, and then Elizabeth comes on the line. She says, my old friend, Esmita. How are you?
Well, watch who you're calling old. But
Takes one to
yeah.
know one.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, however you think of yourself, I'm sure it's fantastic. But pleasantries aside, it has recently come to my attention that Claude has, you know, Mr. Burke, has shed the veneer of respectability that he has and is betraying his clients.
We have heard rumors to this effect, but we don't have proof to act on.
There was a meeting set up with the Pixies. He sent in hellhounds to kill them all.
We heard that was the werewolves doing.
Claude set up the meeting. He assured the Pixies that it would be safe. And Claude is the one who employs the werewolves.
I see. If you could come here and make an attestation, I am ready to agree with you, but I need your oath. And if we had that as well, I may be able to contact the werewolves and see where they stand with this. Oh, we've had Hydrate redeemed in the chat. Thank you for that.
Yay. I will meet with you, but it needs to be now. We have a situation going on at the Constellation. We can talk more after, or when I'm there.
Well, if we're in a rush, do you mind if I invite a werewolf or two now to our meeting? I mean, if your oath is genuine, I don't imagine there being a problem.
I don't mind.
Okay. Okay. I will make some calls and see you here in an hour.
That sounds good.
Very well.
And
Okay.
I give y'all the lowdown. We can get both the vamps and the werewolves as long as I go and attest to Claude's behavior. Not difficult, seeing as it's what he did.
All right. I like it.
You have all the proof you need. Do they ask you to bring proof? What information are they asking for you? Of you?
They're asking for my oath.
Okay.
Which, I mean, if you have tangible proof, it wouldn't hurt.
Well, I have the Pixies who were there at the attack.
If Pumpkin or Snow would be willing to attend the meeting as well and give their rendition of events, it could only help.
I could probably get them there if I guarantee to protect them. They are obviously going to be a bit wary of werewolves. But if you don't mind me tagging along with the pixies, shouldn't be a problem.
No, I was going to suggest it.
Okay, good. Belle,
That sounds like a plan to me.
let's get moving. We're burning daylight.
Yep.
Excellent.
So we
Also,
should probably
Happy
wait
Jack's
until night.
RPG, thank you for that follow. Very nice.
Hey.
Hey.
And sorry, Bill, I think I cut you off there. What were you saying?
I was going to say, we should probably, since we're counting on vampires and werewolves to back us up, wait for night.
Well, they're willing to meet in an hour, and then we can make our arrangements and see what time it is at that point.
Okay.
And
Let's try it.
given the way the day is going, should we say in an hour is like 4 p.m.-ish?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. We're not on a tight timeline like we were with the that original magical oath that Belle had made.
It's true. Because
yeah.
we had like a day.
I'm just keeping track of the time because, as we had established earlier too, vampires could go out during the day and it's fine. It's just they're more comfortable at night, and yeah, it's just kind of nice. So, all right, so we've got a little bit of time to do that. In that time, Esmita, I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll it's like a custom. Well, what's that thing? Basically, you're rolling using Stevenson as your eyes.
Okay.
Not figure someone out. What am I trying to say? Study a place of power.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's plus power because it's the power circle in charge of that.
Okay. And that is an 8 on the dice plus 1 is a 9.
Okay. So with that, it on a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. The MC will reveal an area, NPC, or item located within that is not what it seems. We don't have the 10 plus result, but that's okay. The call comes from Stevenson and lets you know that he's set up on a roof across the street, and he has seen Mrs. Lane's secretary come out of the front of the hotel and meet like a couple of unmarked Suburbans worth of private security, none of whom have like marks of wizardry or anything like that. It just seems like mundane mortal private security. And kind of usher them inside. It doesn't seem like remember, the Wizards Council is not based in the Constellation Hotel, right? This is purely Mrs. Lane's territory. She's a powerful wizard, and I think she's on the council, but she's not like the queen of the wizards or anything. So, she doesn't want to be. That's part of the tense relationship there. But he's letting you know that Mrs. Lane has called some sort of private security. They seem mortal to his eye, and that's what he has to tell you. It's like eight guys came out of 2 Suburbans and went up there with duffel bags full of gear and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, we are going to be dealing with some additional security on their end when we do get there. But they don't taste like wizards. Does Claude use mortals?
What would I need to roll to know that?
I think put a name to a face would get us something.
Okay. Circle. Any
Plus-
kind of advantage for being his ex, or?
Sure. Yeah, let's take a +1 for having boned the topic.
All right. Plus their circle, that is an 8.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, on a hit, their reputation. Yeah, Claude will use anyone he can get. He hasn't done a lot with mortals because vampires and werewolves are kind of better foot soldiers. but you can kind of see what he was trying to put together, right? And if you hadn't like gotten around him and like fit some of these things that he didn't want people to know, like this would be a real kind of coup d'etat move. So,
yeah, I mean, mortals are more pliable. They're easier to manipulate. So they're his pawns. They're not his bishops or his rooks, but they're his pawns.
But we want to get past them, right? Like that's the goal here. Is we don't necessarily want to just go in there guns blazing.
Well, no, but it is good to know in case the worst happens.
Yeah,
and they're at the Hotel Constellation, not where the in like vampire territory, where you're gonna go meet Lisbeth.
Oh, so doing that role advanced me, so I took a move from the Hunter playbook. When you keep your cool or let it out on a hunt, roll with blood instead of spirit.
Ooh, okay. I like that. And just as a check-in, if anyone has rolled with a circle that's not marked off on your XP yet, let's go ahead and mark that off.
Yeah, I just did wild. Thank you.
Okay. And also, Belle, I forgot. I was going to tell you earlier. I wanted you to take an extra corruption for how everything went down in Madagascar.
I am fine with that.
Left a lot of people behind there, and that's a little bit of a dark move, which is okay, right? That fits the game, but and it fits a Belle so well. But I think it comes with a point of corruption. So, yeah, okay. Let's. Shall we move to our meeting with Lisbeth?
Yeah, that sounds like the next thing.
All right. The three of you arrive. Are you driving together? What's your plan here? Are you taking? Are you letting Pancakes know? Do you want to bring her along?
I think so. I mean, right? We want Pancakes on our side on this one.
We did last time we saw Pancakes and the vampires. They were shooting at each other.
Well, I think we'd like to let them know, hey, we all have a common enemy, so let's
I think before I mean, it's a change, but until we get Elizabeth's agreement, let's keep Pancake informed, but not at the table.
All right. I am deferring to y'all. I'm just here to support. I'm here to be a good friend to you.
All right. So
really
Pancakes
touching.
confirms that her and her crew will be on standby. Not too far away, but yep. They had kind of a rough go of it in vampire territory before. So they're sort of between, they're like caution and a little bit of revenge would be nice, but they're.
It's that second part why I think like maybe peace negotiations might not be the best place.
Yeah.
Or I mean, not peace negotiations, but negotiations to get them on our side. Maybe let's leave the revenge to get a little colder.
Yeah.
Fair.
Totally fine. Okay. So just the three of you show up at the let's go with like bizarrely ancient like brownstone in like this neighborhood on the on Night Island. It's like 100 years older than the city. Like doesn't make any sense. But you go up the steps to this big like oak double door, and Elizabeth's assistant lets you in. You kind of recognize everybody here at this point. And shockingly, when you get inside, it's not all like black velvet and blood red curtains and all that. It's like this pretty like floral blue and white wallpaper, and it's just something right out of like kind of Victorian era decoration, right? Not necessarily dress, but like that really sort of light and airy arrangement, and there's fresh flowers out, and it's just like, it's actually a little like stepping into not a museum, but like a set piece, where you go to experience, like, here's where so-and-so used to live, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like that vibe. But you're shown into a sort of essentially a drawing room, and Lisbeth is there. You actually, let's say, she's like playing piano when you come in, beautifully, and but she gets up from the piano when you come in and gestures for you to sit around there's like a love seat and some chairs and whatever, and pretty soon the assistant is bringing tea in, and various just like a tray of things that people might want. She has a wine glass with something red in it for Lisbeth. Weird. I don't know. Who knows what that might be. But she sits down in one of the chairs and gestures for you to help yourselves to whatever's out. And she says, "So, what can you tell me about what's been happening with Claude?"
Well,
Ryan?
yeah, Ryan could tell you the best. And we also have parties who could give a first-hand account.
We have it on good authority that I am Ryan. Hi, that Claude is working with the wizards in an attempt to cause a war on these islands between the wizards and other parties that would completely overturn the balance we've worked so hard to establish here. On top of that, we are trying to reestablish a more balanced rule amongst the Fae that Claude is clearly involved in overturning. I present Pumpkin and Snow, two pixies who were there at the scene of Claude's most recent betrayal, who can perhaps share a bit more first-hand experience on the subject.
Elizabeth says, "I'm less interested in Fae power grabs, but I am interested to hear this testimony." And she gestures, and one of her other assistants has a it's kind of like a music stand, that you put your like sheet music on, but it's got a couple of pages laid out, and a lot of like beautiful like scrolling text appears on the page, Ryan, as you're saying. It's not repeating verbatim, but it's getting like the gist of your, like, the points that you're making of like, these are the reasons why I think blah blah blah, and it's reinforced by Pumpkin and Snow say what they have to say. And it's while you're talking, our oh shoot, what was the werewolf actor's name? The big
Joe Manganiello?
Yeah, Joe Manganiello, ridiculous, unreasonably handsome.
Yep.
Yeah. So he comes through the kitchen, right? Like he had been let in, and just kind of like doesn't like burst into the room. He just like walks in while you're finishing your explanation, and kind of gives you a low growl as he's looking at the pixies, but doesn't really do anything about it. They look a little intimidated, but they also look like, we'll take a shot. You want to go, big man? Like,
oh yeah, you don't fuck with the pixies.
Yeah, they're kind of 50-50. Like, we don't have to do this, but if we're gonna,
They are small and sensitive, but also fight them.
Yes, precisely.
It's very go for the eyes, boo
Mm-hmm.
energy.
Yep. But he's, remaining. He just kind of like leans against the doorway to the kitchen, whatever it is that's back there, and is listening, right? And Lisbeth looks at all three of you, and says, "And all three of you are willing to attest to this?"
Absolutely.
I am.
She stares at Belle.
Oh,
Ryan
yes.
nudges Belle.
Oh, yeah. Whatever Ryan is saying, yes.
Okay. Then she gestures, and the document includes your 3 names at the bottom. And Joe the werewolf looks like kind of disbelieving and a little disappointed. Like maybe we could have had a fight right now, but like, all right. So he nods, and his name appears at the bottom of the document, and Elizabeth's name appears at the bottom of the document. And then Elizabeth pricks her thumb on her top, fang, and dots it under her name. The werewolf cuts his thumb open on his like super sharp fingernail that then goes back to not being sharp, right? He has like claws for a second, and sticks his thumb on there, and steps back, because in case anyone was intimidated by his presence, right? Like, but by all means. And they're expecting you to sign in blood.
Yeah, Ryan does, absolutely. He'll basic fairy mat, little thorn, cut his finger and sign in blood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna prick my finger with the scribe, the finger of the scribe,
Oh, okay.
and sign with that.
Okay. Yeah, and at first, the blood just gets sucked up into the pen, right?
Well, yes, because how else are you going to fill it?
Right. And then you actually can kind of write over the name that they put on there for you and actually sign it. Yep. And
In the most perfect calligraphy.
yeah, I love it. I almost imagine you put the pen on the page and then it just does it for you.
Because Lord knows this Mita's handwriting is not that good.
I didn't want to assume, but if you have a magic pen, what are you doing if you're not letting it write for you?
Right?
And Belle?
I guess if everybody's doing it.
This is the moment I was waiting for.
Oh, God. I'm trying to think if demon sign deals in blood. Like, do I have blood?
Yeah, yeah.
I cleaned up enough of it.
And remember, you've escaped from hell.
That's
right?
true.
So
That's true.
You have some mortal substance that is keeping you here.
All right. I mean, Then I guess I probably have some sort of pen knife or something.
Sure.
And I prick my finger and I leave my, unpronounceable sigil.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. And I don't think anybody's asking the pixies to sign it because you're attesting on their behalf, basically.
Right.
Yeah, so Elizabeth says, all right, well, given this, she kind of gestures nods her head at the werewolf. We must believe you. And so we do. What do you plan to do about it?
Well, we plan
Mrs.
to
Lane is
stop.
harboring Claude at the Constellation.
You get this long, deep growl from the werewolf.
In the Constellation, we don't want to storm it, but negotiating from a position of power is always the best bet.
And Elizabeth kind of narrows her eyes and says, you would turn Mrs. Lane against the council.
It's not hard.
Yeah, from what we understand, she's kind of on the out of the council ever since her recent storm-heavy activities.
Elizabeth looks like she just tasted something really good. She's like, okay. I like the sound of this.
And we have something that Mrs. Lane is, well, not to be crass, but is quite desperate to get her little lidgy hands on.
Oh, very good. Okay. I like leverage. I like pressure. I like turning someone on their own. What can we do for you?
We need a guarantee of support, visible show that it is definitely in her best and only interest to side with us in this.
So we would array ourselves against the wizards and the Helsings, which is neither here nor there for us. That's fine. And she kind of glances over to the werewolf because, she doesn't really want to do that just the vampires, right? And he shrugs his shoulders and says, as long as we get our shot at Claude, then it's fine. We'll be there. Now, out of character, Ryan, that's a little bit of an issue.
Right, absolutely. I appreciate your fervor. Trust me, I understand it. He's screwed me over more times than I can count. Phrasing.
Boom.
Claude is my responsibility. Like I mentioned, there is a current power struggle amongst the Fae, and he is a key part of ensuring that falls in a way to keep the balance, not just on the island of the Wild, but across the entire city.
I lost many of my pack to his lies. And if he goes to you, then you will need to make promises to us for future favors.
Done.
Now, out of character, he is essentially demanding 3 debts. So, are you willing to agree to that?
For Ryan, though.
For Ryan, purely for Ryan.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Yep. Or if you want to bring it down, we could try a roll about it.
Yeah, let's do a roll about it. I want to try to negotiate that down a little bit. 3's like
It's a
1
lot.
absolutely, 2 sure, 3's a lot. You're asking for a lot there, Wolfie.
Let's roll persuade.
Yeah. I like persuade. Persuade is good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a 9.
Okay.
Is this something that one of us could help with?
Well, are either of you familiar with like forming deals or pacts or anything like that? Now, given
Yes.
Belle's typical unwillingness to get involved in other people's shit, that seems less likely to me. But
I would rather not.
Esmita, if you wanted to step in, that's certainly you definitely have the expertise to do so.
Let me ask you a question, Jason, because I don't know if this would work, because it may be too much of an advantage in the upcoming battle or scenario. I do have the ability called Words or Wind. So instantly when someone has broken their word or done a deal you've made, take a debt on them and take a +1 ongoing to claim what you deserve from them or their allies. I don't know if it's been too long since Claude's betrayal of me to have that be a thing that works.
Oh, Claude has essentially refused a debt to you. Like he's exercised that ability, to refuse honoring a debt.
Okay.
So you're not going to be able to call a debt on him.
Well, I'm not calling a debt. I'm going to more the +1 ongoing. Is what I'm.
Oh, I guess I misunderstood. What can you?
So the move says instantly if someone has broken their word to you or done a deal you've made. So that would have been in the prologue.
Yes.
Take a debt on them, and take +1 ongoing to claim what you deserve from them or their allies.
Oh, actually, yes, that's fine. You're not going to be able to have some sort of debt from Claude, but the +1 is definitely applying to this situation because it's about you deserve this retribution more than the werewolves, and
then that would make it a 10.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, that's kind of. I like seeing Ryan sort of push through that on his own. That's a neat moment. So, yeah, absolutely. I like the cut of that jib. So, yeah, you establish that and you manage to get him down to 2 debts and, you actually get the head of the werewolves to back down a little bit. So, and you can feel Carnunus's pride at you pushing back against a predator like that. And, you know, your own sort of animalistic tendencies, just, you know, however you want to interpret that is up to you. But
Yeah. Very, I think Ryan, if you were to look in an animalistic sense, he's taking more of the stance of like a stag, like very much that proud, you know, chest up,
yep.
resplendent, like not backing down, not aggressive, but like firm in his
And you
being.
get the message at the bottom of the screen, Stag Daddy will remember this.
Yes.
All right. So, anything else we want to get out of this scene? The vampires and the werewolves have agreed to back you up. They've agreed that neither of them have a claim to Claude in a physical sense. You know, they like seeing him get screwed over, but they're not going to claim him at the end of this. So that's part of it.
Good.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. So they both make calls. They are, you know, the pack and the coterie are putting themselves together, and you want them to be at the Constellation, or just kind of be on standby for whatever happens after that, or what's the request?
I think we want some kind of presence with them in the hotel with us when we have our meeting with Mrs. Lane, just to show a show of force. We don't need their entire coterie and pack in there, but like a representative from each faction.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to be like Joe and Elizabeth, but yeah, they will send a couple people each to kind of be in the lobby and just be present. Around this time, Esmita, you get just an update from Stevenson that it looks like security is kind of settled in at the penthouse. A lot of the penthouse is still blown open, so he still has a pretty good view of a lot of what's going on up there. But the penthouse is above like the highest building he could get to and be in range. So he can't totally see into the penthouse, but he has a pretty good angle. But security is settled in. They're not, it doesn't look like they're ready to shoot on sight, but they are armed, dangerous, and ready. So, can do with that as you will.
Yeah. I think to... No, he knows. Never mind. I was going to see if I wanted to change my face so that Claude may not know that I'm in the building, but he knows where I stand, so there's no point in that subterfuge.
Okay.
Good point.
Okay, well, let's
Indeed.
call Mrs. Lane and have her come down for a meeting.
That sounds great. We'll meet her in Orion's.
Yeah,
All right. Esmita, you want to make the call?
sure.
Okay.
I mean, she hates Belle so much.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, that tracks. That's fair.
And I'm pretty sure
Esmita-
she's not Ryan's biggest fan after what happened last time either.
Well, no, I do have a debt on her.
Yeah, I knew
Which
Ryan
I'm-
did. I think Belle does.
Yep.
Esmita, do you have a debt on her?
Nope.
Okay, so it actually is better if you call then. She's more likely to want to talk to you.
Probably.
Does she have a debt on you?
No.
Okay, great.
We managed to not actually really interact at all.
Yeah, I remember you kind of skirting that pretty well.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go get what I need.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was very convenient. But she answers the phone just very demure, like, Esmita, yes?
Mrs. Lane, I believe that I have an offer for you that might be mutually beneficial. And I would like to meet to discuss it.
Well, I'm a little busy today.
Well, I mean, it is an urgent matter and an offer that comes with something of an expiration timer.
Can you give me, in a summary sense, what it is you would like to offer?
I have something that you've been looking for a long time.
Pooja, go ahead and roll. Figure someone out. Plus mind.
I believe, let me just double check. Yeah, cool. I can actually roll this with heart here.
Oh, cool.
Which is awesome because that gave me a 7.
Okay. And actually, let's say because it's heart, you over the phone even, you start to hear this, like, the sound of a heartbeat, right? Which is funny because she doesn't have a heart in her chest, but it's a sort of a meta feeling, right? We know, like, 5 of her 5 major organs are in jars on the kitchen counter.
I mean, really, it's so unsanitary.
It's
Okay,
really,
just moving on.
yep. But you get to ask 2 of these questions, and I will tell you, right off the top, and your questions could sort of be related to this, is that she kind of makes a noise when you say, you know, I have something you've been looking for, and you realize, like, she must have sensed that something was up with one of her spouses, right? Like that. She's been trying to figure out this mystery like probably all day or for the last couple days, and it is now, like, you hear this, like, ugh, like this, oh, that's what's happening, but she tries to hide it and, you know, covers it with a cough, and but what questions do you want to ask? And then she's gonna get to ask one back.
I am going to say, first question is, what does your character worry is going to happen?
Okay. She is worried that that you'll do some damage to the spirit that you have.
And how can I get your character to agree to this deal?
Give her that box.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But she's gonna ask, how could I get your character to keep me safe from the Wizards Council?
Join forces with this coalition that we have made.
So you would actually accept her into the coalition?
If she signs
Uh-huh.
on the dotted line,
Okay.
because we all know that.
It just seems like you're going to need, like, a really powerful magic item to write that agreement on, and maybe write it with.
You
like,
know, like, it's good, but Retro thinks ahead. She's definitely playing some chess here.
Yep.
And I am both impressed and kind of annoyed by it. Like you do.
Yep. Okay, so we have all this sort of, like, nonverbal throat clearing and pauses and you know, whole moments passing here, and she says again, what can you offer me?
I can offer you your heart's desire and safety from those of you who would come after you for this.
I see.
Assuming that you would agree to stand with them. You stand with us.
I don't know that I can. I'm open to discussing this further.
Then meet us in Orion's.
It will be with the majority of my security staff.
And I have other members of this coalition, if you would.
The vampires and the werewolves, I assume.
And the fae and the demons.
Oh, I see. Well,
Just so the cards are on the table here.
well then, I will meet you at Orion's. And she hangs up. And then immediately you get a just a text from Stevenson that says they're on the move.
Yeah. Keep an eye on her when you can, and then move down to be able to cover Orion's just in case.
Yeah, street level. Yeah. Okay. And he sends you the thumbs up emoji. We're like, wow, Stevenson uses emojis.
I mean, at this point, like,
Not a lot to surprise.
my mom uses emojis.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my grandma can use emojis when she can figure out the phone.
Sure. All right. Yeah. So the anything we need to do before we leave Lisbeth's mansion? It's a mini mansion. It's a brownstone, like a more
Yeah.
up and down than broad. But yeah.
Yeah, no. I think we roll on back to Orion's.
Yep. I got all I need.
Okay. I regret naming it Orion's with a character named Ryan in the game.
I think we all have naming regrets when it comes to this particular campaign.
Yep.
Yep.
Mistakes were made. That's the spirit of RPGs, I think. Just mistakes were made. Period. All right.
I mean, we could compound those mistakes and start calling it Orion's.
Sure. Yeah.
Orion's.
Oh,
No,
that hurts my brain.
That sounds terrible.
Just to double check, we're over time a little bit. Does everyone have half an hour or so?
A half hour, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, half hour.
I know we got to wrap, but I don't think it'll take much more than that. So, you arrive at the hotel. Mrs. Lane is already at Orion's, and there's about 8 guards down there with, body armor and rifles, and like it looks like a paramilitary group just rolled into the hotel, and nobody's paying attention to that because they don't want to. There's nobody else.
That's for everyone.
Yeah, there's nobody else in the bar. It's just her. There's no bartender. It's just her at one of the tables, and these guards spread out through the bar. When you arrive, a couple of werewolves and a couple of vampires are already there, kind of across the lobby. They didn't go into the bar because they, weren't sure what would happen in that situation. But the 3 of you come in. As you're pulling up, Amita, you get the Asmita. What? Why could I not get that word out? You get the confirmation from Stevenson that he's in position, and you're heading through the lobby towards the restaurant. You can see everything that's laid out there. What are we doing?
Okay. Well,
I mean, it's Mita. I think you're taking the lead on this one. Right?
speaking of mistakes were made.
I hope that this goes well.
Okay. Well, lead, like, I feel like what would be cool is if we kind of, like, in a way took over basically most of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are scattered around the different tables, but as she walks in, she can see it's like there's the vamps, there's the werewolves, there's like the pixies all around a giant like Mai Tai drink.
Yeah.
Like just it's obvious. And then there's a table like it's more dramatic if it's a corner booth.
Yeah. Perfect.
With Ryan and Belle and me sitting at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
And so she approaches and it's like, I appreciate your meeting with us so quickly.
before we go any further, I need proof of what you promised.
And I,
And all of you can see, like, this is the most cracked you've seen her composure, right? Like, this is, she didn't, like, blurt it out, but you can see she's right on the edge of,
Yeah.
like, keeping it together.
and I hold up the box.
Go ahead with what you were going to say, please.
You're harboring Claude. It
Yes.
needs to stop.
Okay.
Sign with us and pull out of the war that he's trying to force between the wizards and, the mortals, and Pancakes and her crew.
Well, I think if I retract my protection, you should be able to deal with him handily. But I don't know that we can stop what the council has decided.
And what has the council decided?
Well, that zombies can't be allowed to share our islands. And she seems like she doesn't super disagree with that. She's just not more committed to that than getting the soul of her wife back. So
I feel that that is a short-sighted position.
Rather bigoted to boot.
And I think Ms. Lane,
Mrs.
Mrs. Lane, we can all benefit from a much more conciliatory position. Because at this point, to be honest, it's pretty much the wizards versus everybody.
well, they have the Helsings in their pocket.
For Claude.
Mm.
And that feels excessive.
You know, I can also say they believe the vampires and werewolves are committed to staying out of the conflict.
Clearly, the terrain has changed.
But they don't know that yet.
Well, if
Well,
you, being in a position that you are, can make them aware of the changed circumstances.
yeah.
Do we want them to know, or do we want them to be overrun? And she could, like, there's this, like, evil light in her eyes.
We want our little group here, such as it is, so modest and simple. We just want what's in the best interest of the city. And if that's a change at the top of the wizards, that's fine. If it's simply for all of us to go our separate ways, you retract your protection of Claude. We learn to live with this new force that has arisen.
I will say, if a power vacuum arises in the council, someone will step into power who thinks very favorably of Belle's shop and maybe thinks wizards should do business there again.
And that the undead are good for more than menial tasks.
I suppose it would be ultimately hypocritical of me to say otherwise.
True.
As long as we're all in agreement.
Given this scenario, if I cancel my agreement with Claude, one, I will be injured, but I'm less concerned about that. But he will be alerted immediately, as I'm sure you would anticipate.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be helpful if you gather outside of his room before I cancel the contract. Because if he senses that, he may alert the council.
Understood.
Very
However,
understood.
I believe, in the interest of good faith, that our agreement should be solidified before we move to Claude's room.
Well, no one could call you stupid, Esmita.
Not and live with it.
Would you like to write it up
It would be my pleasure.
on my scroll?
Don't worry, I came prepared with my own.
Well, I think, didn't you get the scroll from her?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I got the vellum from her vault.
Yeah, she's like saying the vellum that you have. She's referring to it as hers. So, yeah. Enjoy.
And so I write up the agreement with the scribe, the pen of the. Blah, blah, blah. I write up the agreement with the finger of the scribe, like letting it do all the fancy calligraphy at once. Just and basically make a contract, do my job.
Yeah, the vellum fills out. You look over the language, you're like, yep, that's what I wanted it to say. The pen goes on to include some delicate scroll work around the edges. Now
you're just showing off.
Yep. You get a sort of a rose gold metallic effect in some of it. Like, what? How did you do gold inlay, pen? But here we are. Yeah, it says she's going to cancel her agreement when you're in place and stay out of the way. What are some of the things that we should clarify?
She will cancel the agreement once we're in place. She will not side with the Wizards Council when it comes to making war with the with Pancakes and the other zombies. That she will reopen support and throw her full weight behind supporting business deals with Belle and Pancakes' crews. And she will not try to take over or enslave Pancake's crew.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So she looks it over and sort of sighs at how ironclad it is. And just to double check, Esmita, do you have a make a deal roll?
Well, we could.
Smoke and blood. Smoke and blood.
Yes.
I do have a dark bargain, in which I seal a bargain with someone in smoke and blood.
Yeah.
On a hit, I infuse the agreement with demonic force.
Yeah. I think that seems like the right thing in the circumstance. I'm going to have you roll with advantage because you're using both the vellum and the finger of the scribe. So, good luck.
That is a 10 on the dice plus 2 is a 12.
Oh my. Okay. So on a 10 plus, pick 2.
I'm going to say all parties take +1 ongoing to letting it out while fulfilling the deal. And anyone violating the pact instantly suffers 4 harm armor piercing.
Okay. I like it. But don't intuitively know whether the deal is being honored.
No, I feel like this time it's we're gonna go on a little bit of faith here.
Sure. Well, I guess they'll know when they take damage, but they wouldn't know if you were leading up to violating the deal. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you get that all in place, and I guess it's time to go upstairs.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go collect ourselves a Claude.
We go up to the 6th floor. Are you taking many people with you, or what's the plan there? Because you've got werewolves and vampires downstairs and whatever else. So.
And the pixies too,
And the
right?
pixies,
Let's take everybody.
I like the image, the mental image of just this ring, the massive mass of people can't all fit in one ring around his doorway, so he's stacked several deep.
Yep.
Yep. I love it.
Okay. I also like that you had to, like, I think the Pixies were trying to figure out how to turn on the karaoke machine.
Very.
And you like tear them away from that. Like, oh. Yep, we get everyone upstairs, and there are 2 of those like private security guys outside of his door. You know, room 9 on the 6th floor, they just step out of the way and walk down the hall the other direction.
Ryan, I believe you should do the honors here.
Yes, 100%. This is all you.
Well, that phase isn't going to wrapping on that chamber door.
Okay, you knock on the door, and you hear from outside, "Just leave it on the floor."
More knocking.
What? I said, just leave it.
More knocking.
Oh, all right. So you see the inside it lights up the little peephole thing. You can't really see through it, but you can see that is blocked as he, looks through the peephole.
Mm-hmm.
And then it sounds like running.
Cute. All right. I try to do this a nice way. We're going to kick down that door.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a roll associated with that, but we're doing...
Sounds like turn to violence.
Well, we could do turn to violence, or we could do let it out if you're willing to risk the corruption, because Cornunos wants this to happen.
Oh yeah, we're going to let it out. Absolutely,
Okay.
We're going to let it out.
Compel the elements of your court.
Yep, that is let it out spirit. Oh, that's an 11.
Oh, actually, this is summon an elemental storm.
Okay.
But what it does is it just manifests as you lowering your head and, as a stag charging this door, and it just splinters, right? You go crashing through there. Now, do you want complication or corruption?
I'll take the corruption.
Okay, enjoy.
At this point, let's do the corruption. And so I will come bursting through the door, lift my horns. Honey, I'm home.
Okay, it looks like he is making a run for the sliding glass door. Like he could jump and be fine. Like he's not going to jump to his doom. But it looks like he's trying to make it out of the balcony door. So you want to grab him?
Yo, absolutely, I want to grab him.
Okay, now this I think does have to be a what do you call it? The fight one.
Oh, turn to violence.
Yeah, turn to violence because you're trying to tackle him.
Do I have anything else I can do? I don't think so. Okay, but I do get +1 because of my words are wind.
Yes.
Okay, so that at least evens it out to 0. Okay, well that's a 6. What's the other one? Oh my god, this die will not... Oh, thank god. That would be a 6 and a 5.
Okay, +0.
+0, so that's an 11.
All right, terrific. So on a hit, you inflict harm as established, and your opposition chooses one. I'm gonna put you in a bad spot. And I'll explain in a second. But what do you want to pick?
Yeah, well, I'm going to I'm gonna take something from them, and that's going to be their balance, because I want to like tackle them to the ground effectively.
Okay. So you yeah.
I'd like to use one of my fairy powers.
Hold on. Let me establish the tackle first.
Okay.
And then we'll do that. So you tackle him as he's going out the door. And he tried to twist. So the 6- result was him twisting and throwing you off the balcony.
Sure.
But he didn't even get to 7 to 9, right? So he like grabbed, and he just totally underestimated your strength in this moment. And the two of you go down in a tangle. You've crashed onto the balcony. Part of the railing like creaks and falls off and drops 6 floors to the ground. And a car screeches as it, like wonks on top of the car. And but the two of you are kind of like struggling at the edge of the balcony, and like either of you could, or both of you could go over the edge. But you've captured him and probably done a couple harm worth to that. And what is it you wanted to do?
I would like to use Bedlam, which you can touch the target to place them in a specific emotional state, my choice. Mark Corruption to have that emotion directed towards a target of my choosing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to then effectively mark 2 Corruption, 1 to use the move and 1 to have it directed towards a target of their choosing. And I would like their emotional state to be submission.
Okay.
And I want it directed towards me.
Oh, no. Is there any role associated with this?
Nope, it's one of my fairy abilities.
Just pay all the corruption and
yeah, basically, which
Okay.
does get me my corruption track filled +1. So I will take I'll take a +1 to any stat, and I'll make that spirit. So I'll have a spirit of +3.
Okay. And yeah, when you get a hold of him, you're trying to get in control of this wrestle, and then you release this fairy power, and you could see the look in his eyes, like he knows what's happening, and it's just like fighting it and trying to bear down against it, but ultimately just like drops his hands, and you get kind of like, I don't know, you're like standing up on the balcony with him kneeling, I suppose. Is that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Kneeling, me standing over him.
Yeah.
Hand like on the top of his head, like very in a you are mine moment.
Okay. Great. And all these people are following you in, and there's just nothing else in here. Like, we were all ready for this big fight, and it's just him. And you got him out on the balcony there, and you hear in your mind, Ryan, make him admit what he did.
I'm gonna kneel to get on his level, so we're seeing eye to eye. Now then, why don't you come clean? You'll feel so much better.
And you can hear some of the like pixies coming in behind you to witness and, hear all of this. And he starts telling a story that you can just tell right away is a lie, right? Like he's trying to spin a lie. What do you want to do about that?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to put a hand up, kind of like a holding, some fairy magic in my hands, that I'm pretty sure he's aware is the spell of like grasping tendrils and briar and
the wither.
Yeah, don't make me do it. I will, and I'll enjoy it.
So the lie he was starting to tell was that he had done all of this at Oberon's command, and he ends up coming clean that he actually essentially tricked Oberon, which is something, right?
Yeah.
But we knew Claude was a powerful fae. And so the thing that the pixies are going to be able to take back is not that Oberon did a crime, but that he was so incompetent.
Yeah,
which is
bad.
Worse, right? In the face of Cernunnos trying to take the throne, it's a pretty strong argument. But then you hear send him with the pixies to me.
It will be done, my king.
And I would say, actually, Esmita and Bell, you also, at that point, you hear the reverberation of Cornunus's voice, even, of like, send him with the pixies to me, is like this, the voice of a god rolling over you. And
I want to be that guy.
Nope.
The pixies sort of look at you, Ryan, like, can we take him now?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll see you soon, Claude.
So about half a dozen pixies have come at this point. They swarm him and grab him and like take him over the edge of the balcony, just out of your hands, and he's just like, and when you look down, it eventually, like, all of them, they just turn into this like shower of glitter that lands on the street, but they have passed beyond into the Fae. So,
Oh, that felt good.
I know we're tight on time too, so I want to jump ahead a little bit in that we know the wizards and Helsings are trying to move on the little bit of space that Pancakes had set up for her people. But we know that...
But now we have Mrs. Lane on our side.
Right. Well, Mrs. Lane is injured from having broken her pact. And so she's not able to directly get involved, but she's also not helping the wizards, which would be huge. So her help is staying out of it. And she's ready to like step in and take control when the council is decimated. So the wizards and Helsings are trying to show up and take out the zombies as far as they're thinking, right? And they think everyone else is out of the way. The werewolves and the vampires are showing up to fight alongside of Pancakes and her people. What are you three doing? What is, how do you want to influence this? How does this play out?
Because we want to protect Pancakes and them.
That's part of the deal.
That's part of the deal. So, well, I mean, I will go to contact the Van Helsings.
Okay.
Because, we have ties. We've had business, successful business.
Yeah,
Can't
Karen.
can't remember if Karen still owes me a debt.
I thought the Infinity Band evened that out.
But you know what? I'm willing to offer her.
Oh, okay.
I'm willing to offer her 2 debts even.
Okay.
Because the business will be so good to turn on the wizards.
Okay. We're going to have to do a persuade because you need to convince her that the wizards are going to lose.
Oh, they are.
Right? But if you can make that argument, she will talk to... She's not like the head of the Van Helsings, but she's, a senior member. And a Karen.
A Karen. Oh, that, my friends, is a little thing we like to call boxcars.
Oh,
Yes.
good
In a
timing.
clinch.
Perfect.
Wow, I did not expect this turn of events. This is fun. As everyone is in motion, we've got all these people moving through the city to, I think their gang was holed up on the Mortalis Island.
Yeah,
right?
I believe so, yeah.
Which is also where Helsing lives. And, the message spreads throughout the Helsing group that, even if this was our problem to handle, like, what are the wizards doing coming here? Right? And then them coming here means all these, like, vampires and werewolves are coming to Mortalis Island. This is wrong. And your contact, Karen Van Helsing, puts out the word and starts asking questions. Like, I'm just asking questions. And no one's willing to answer my questions. And the Van Helsings, little by little, they peel off from the attack. The word spreads, and they're recalled back to the manor, and they're gonna have a talk about what happened and what didn't happen. And Belle, you are gonna owe Karen, but she came through and did what you needed. So nice work.
Well, good. Well, then that's good. So now the wizards are sort of on their own here.
Yep.
I gotta imagine that's gonna take a little starch out of their britches.
Yeah, yeah. That they don't even know that the Helsings have peeled off, right? That's
Right.
like they're gonna find that out in the moment. Asmita, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to call Lucky and see if he wants to come hang out.
Hmm.
Like Mortalis Island, that's where his apartment is, isn't it? So, like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
right
Oh
around
no,
the
I think he
corner.
lives on Elysium, but he can come over there.
Yeah. Like, a group of my friends are getting together. I think it'd be real fun. So like I might get to show off a little. I think it'd be, I wanna.
Well, I mean, I'd love to meet more of your friends.
Sweet.
That'd be great. So yeah, he like gets in a cab and is heading over, and weird, they just hit all green lights the whole way and make it in record time. It's amazing. So we'll get to that effect. Ryan, what are you doing as we're heading over to? I just gotta say, I love that Belle, in the face of this like epic tide of war, is able to like make a phone call and
That's right.
have a massive impact on this
It's so amazing.
bloody battle.
That's my superpower. I have a phone.
I love it. I love it.
I think Ryan, in an attempt to show a bit of Cornelius's presence and a bit of show of force in this situation, to show that he is a force to be reckoned with, managed to gather some Fae, who obviously want to be on the side of the new king and not the old one, and is helping lead a charge as kind of a Fae force in the fight with the wizards. Ryan is absolutely shirtless, riding a stag
Yep.
with his antlers, with a spear, like living his best wild life.
Sure. Just a wild hunt, just heading into the fray.
Very that.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So Asmita, you called in Lucky. He's on his way. So when the wizards show up, they are right away being overwhelmed. They're also very powerful. So the fact that there are vampires and werewolves and fae and all this stuff happening and the Helsings don't come to back them up, is actually like the wizards are kind of holding their own for a minute. It's actually kind of looks like it could go either way. It's really good the Helsings aren't here. But Asmita, what is your, you see Lucky's cab pull up, like the cab screeches to a halt when it sees all this like violence in the street, and Lucky's like, okay, thanks, and gets out of the car and is kind of, looking around to see where Asmita is, and
Like, I wave. I'm like, hey, over here, check it out, and I demon out.
okay. Okay. Has he seen your full demon before?
I don't think so. He's
Yeah.
seen like maybe like the paw. Like I intimidated Emily in front of him, but
Yeah.
like this is the first time he's gotten the full experience.
Yeah, in like full. Well, it's afternoon light, but yeah, the whole
It's
effect.
golden hour.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, it's that perfect. It's the golden hour. Yeah. Perfect selfies for everyone.
Hooray.
Okay. And what does that demon do? What are you just ripping into wizards or what?
Yeah, like I feel like I go and then I turn around, like sashay just a little in that turn. Just a little.
Yeah.
And then I go to town with and if you're okay with it, I'm also going to call up some a gang of demons.
Sure. Yep.
So we have a return of our tiny pygmy elephants. Well, not so tiny. Tiny in comparison to other elephants.
Yes. But still quite big.
But still relative.
Yep.
And we like go in like a rampaging pack.
Yep. And the short version, kind of, because I know we're out of time and it's the end of the story, but the wizards are completely overrun, right? They are routed. Some have been turned into vampires. Some are just werewolf chow. The demons rip through a whole phalanx of wizards and just crash through their shields and, just smash them to bits. And the pixies come through to do some cleanup afterwards of all the things that were stomped under hooves. And, shockingly, like, by midnight, there's not much evidence of the fight left, right? There's like some broken street lamps and windows, and a car got kind of crunched into another car. But, considering what all happened here and what all the mortals have decided to forget, it's that's the whole thing goes. And, a big component of that, Asmita, is like, everything you're grabbing for is just like right there where you want it. Everything is just landing precisely, right? You grab this one, you throw it to another demon, you turn around just as another demon is struggling, and you're like, yep, I got this one, crack. And it's just hard to imagine it going any luckier than that. So
Nice.
I think that's our Urban Shadows campaign.
Huzzah!
So, thank you all of you for this lovely story. Thank you, chat, for joining this for any amount of the story that you are here for. If we can, I want to say our goodbyes and maybe a quick version of what your character's up to, just as a brief epilogue. Belle and Jay.
I think, Belle is just trying to have a shop again.
Yeah.
Just selling things and not getting involved in freaking wars. And slowly becoming, more and more glass.
Oh, yeah. So how far does that advance?
You tell me. I don't know.
Well, I think we got to get an arm and a leg, right?
That sounds fine to me.
Just for the storybook of it.
Yep. An arm and a leg.
And then that's where we leave it for who knows what we'll see of that in the future. And Asmita?
No, I think that I decide to start going more like taking that step into real relationship with Lucky.
Okay.
And now that he's seen me in all of my
glory.
my meanness.
Sure.
And I'm gonna try to teach Steven Stevenson some stuff.
Okay.
Maybe, hopefully, with a side effect of making him not quite so shitty of a person.
Yeah. Get him educated. Get him like actually part of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great plan.
Set him up with an actual bed at Chris's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At one point, we're actually gonna have to rent that apartment, like, legitimately. But
yeah.
Until then, whatever. That's future problems.
Yep. I like that. Okay. And Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan is very has worked himself into the good graces of Carnunos, clearly. And is serving on Carnunos's court. And you will see Claude, who looks a lot like Ryan did after he came back from his year and a day with Carnunos, now serving under Ryan. And
Prince Ryan, I assume.
Huh?
Prince Ryan?
Absolutely Prince Ryan.
Yep.
And you'll see, like, after basically the end of the first day. Good job. Day one done. Only 100 years left to go.
I love it. Well, everybody, thank you so much for players. This was amazing. You were all incredible. Folks, you should all follow these folks online if you can. And they're a delight, and they're up to all sorts of interesting things. Let's just say our goodbyes real quick. Pooja.
I'm Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at LADaisy Girl. That's LADESI Girl. And if you want to hear me play more RPGs, you can also find me on the 12-Sided Stories podcast. Right now we have the Otherworld Seattle campaign going, and it is a lot of fun with
I love it.
some twists none of us saw coming. So
I gotta
tuned
get
for
caught
that.
up. I'm an episode behind now, so
Oh my god, this next one is like,
yeah, I'm pumped.
Mhm.
Joey, say goodbye.
Goodbye. Hi, I'm Joey. You can find me on all the socials at Feywild85, FEYWILDE85. And you can catch me and some other guy running some other game, I guess, on Happy Jacks, I believe starting in September 27th is what I have on my calendar. And I'll let him say more about that. But yeah, you can't get rid of me. Ha 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 ha. Suckers.
And Jay.
Hi, y'all. You can find me on the socials at Jay Holtham. You can also find me playing games with Pooja, who I am pointing at. I guess I should be doing. There we go. That's the right way to do that. On 12-Sided Stories. And you can find me every other Monday on Happy Jacks, playing some space shenanigans with Mr. Jason Mills. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And that's me. I'm Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. We're going to be starting up a new campaign here so not this Sunday, but actually in like 2-3 Sundays, something like that, in September. Whatever that is.
on point.
Yeah. 29th is an offline meeting that we're doing. And so it's that first Sunday in September is when we're starting. Saturdays is going to turn into a different thing. I'll post about that online. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. And I'm also going to be kind of taking over the Monday slot at Happy Jacks. So when the Yuma Station game wraps up relatively soon, we're kind of coming to a close there, then I will be picking up a kind of a twisted Traveler campaign. We're sort of using Traveler rules with some other bullshit that I made up. So I hope you can join us there too. It'll be a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for joining us. I'm going to take us to our end screen and see if we have anyone to raid. But if not, take care everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.